Yeah,
Recap is done.
y'all motherfuckers did a lot of things, and everybody with metal armor left for the rust monster fight.
That's true. They did.
Oh,
Everybody.
I wish I had been here. I don't use any metal.
But no, anybody in the party that had metal armor
had gotten off for the night.
For the
night by that point. Yeah, but like Hayes had left.
Yeah, seriously. I look like I pulled the rust monsters. I look at the problem like, wait, hold on. A barbarian, a wizard, a rogue, and a barbarian. Huh. None of these
The
people.
rust monster didn't stand a chance. I lost my knife, but I got a new one.
Yeah, we have spares.
I think I got a new one.
Yep. All right.
It's probably in the tent. Nobody brought in an extra short sword, so you still have that.
So who would like to recap last week's events?
Well, we dug around a bit in the mine and made a couple of friends. I'm going to call them Red and Blue. They were some real nice chaps. We had a really interesting conversation about the nature of truth. But eventually we had to go on. They're apparently trapped here because some evil wizard, decided to...
or God.
Torture them or something. I don't know. It was kind of odd. But then we went down into another... We got teleported into a crossroads, and we started looking through it. We found a T with a area labeled exit, and another area labeled... well, not labeled, but this is like a scriptorum that we looted. And then we're now in a room that had a couple of rust monsters that we've killed. And there's, probably 2, 4, 5 more areas to explore down here before we head to the room labeled exit.
All right. Yeah, so we have you guys here standing in about knee-deep stagnant water. Knee-deep, sweet-tasting stagnant water. 2 corridors remain.
I think we haven't explored the other tine of this fork.
Yep, we haven't. We only gone one direction to the rust monsters. We did not go up the other way.
Yeah, because you notice how there's no node at the other end of that?
That's right. That's
because we didn't go there.
My notes are slightly off.
We'll head to there. Seems like a good place.
Between the 5 of us, one of us probably kept decent notes, right?
Ha ha ha. Yeah, because I totally keep notes. Yeah, definitely.
Dude, I didn't even keep notes when I was running that Star Wars game. You think I keep notes as a player?
I mean, I keep a limited number of notes.
I note down things that I think are important, but that's about it. I don't keep a running log of our adventures.
What? You don't record every single attack roll and action taken?
No, I do not.
I do in the fight.
All right, goofing around aside. So you're going up that other node?
Sure. Wait.
Why?
We never explored this room. Let me look around this room and see if there's anything here worth stealing. I mean, claiming.
Naturally.
So, can someone help me look around?
Yeah. I'll always give you advantage.
Indeed. You begin sifting around the room.
I don't think he finds anything. Pretty.
You do actually find something.
Neat.
You find a rusty sword. And piles of rust dust.
Oh, hey, Nash. Here, a replacement sword. It's a piece of crap, but it's better than no sword.
Actually, wait. Are you running with a short sword, Nash?
Yes, that's what I had, a short sword.
Okay, I'll take the short sword off my belt and give it to him. I forgot I have a short sword.
That works for me.
I forgot I'm running a short sword on this. I almost never run a melee weapon aside from a dagger, but I was like, oh yeah, that's right. I actually have a short sword. So there you go. No negative stats. You want to give me yours? What's the -2 on that, right?
Yes, I'm -2 short sword. Looks like some kind of gladius.
Although you'll be depressed because mine is just a very boring iron short sword.
Oh, that's all mine was.
But yours is bronze. Or brass, or whatever.
I don't remember.
But anyway.
Bronze.
We swapped swords.
A
What is this
brass
sword we're
sword.
finding here? Long sword, short sword,
Oh, it's
scimitar,
yeah, this would be like a scimitar. More specifically
modifier?
like a khopesh.
I actually know what that is.
-2. Wait, hold
Okay,
on.
-2 sickle.
No, scimitar.
You said it was a khopesh.
Yes.
It looks
That's-
like a sickle.
Not quite. It lacks the degree of curvature of a sickle.
Yeah, but it looks like a sickle. There's a straight bit and a curved bit. -2 scimitar is added to my inventory.
Dude pulls out a katana. Ah, yes. A farming implement known as a sickle. Totally the same.
No,
I mean, they aren't
katana's
called
a
sickle
long
swords
curved
for no
blade.
reason.
So is a khopesh.
Yeah.
It's just slightly more sickle shaped.
Exactly.
Not by
No,
that
much,
was
I
my
though.
talking
point.
about the khopesh.
It looks more like a falchion or a cutlass.
Anyway, sorry.
Sorry, I got completely sidetracked there. What?
We found a sword. We investigated
Yes.
the room.
Yes. And I hand it over to those that actually use swords. I prefer pens.
Doesn't it have the same damage as a short sword?
Scimitar? I believe so.
Well, you can typically find out by selecting scimitar on the character sheet. But yeah, it's
No,
a
it's a
D6
D6.
slashing light weapon.
Doing short sword's D6 piercing weapon.
Yeah, slashing versus piercing, same damage, different damage type.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So what else you guys doing?
Nothing else of note in this room other than a bunch of rust piles? Are they moving?
No.
How finely ground is the rust?
That was my next question.
Not
Two
very.
sacks.
I think we
two
should
sacks.
bring. But it's like powdered rust, right? Is what you said?
There's some powdery component to it, yeah, but this is I suppose it'd be more accurate to call it flaky.
Okay.
Well, Rourke, do you mind grabbing all that and bringing it along? Because I've got plans.
Yeah. How much is here? I have 3 empty sacks.
There's 10 pounds of rust.
1 sack of rust, weighing 10 pounds. Okie doke.
Dear God, what are you planning?
We just need to find some aluminum now.
Oh no. See, technically, you can make it with just powdered metal. So, Fe2O3 plus 3 Cu.
Oh, okay.
Are you trying to make thermite?
No, we're
Yes.
making thermite. We're not trying.
Also, Ruffles, it's going to be a little hard to find aluminum, given that aluminum tends to not form actual deposits and is just kind of present mixed in with everything else on the Earth's crust.
There is deposits of actual native aluminum, but they're incredibly rare. right up until the Industrial Revolution, the price of pure aluminum was per ounce higher than gold.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I
like
know that.
think,
I was
think
making the
Napoleon
joke.
had like a set of aluminum cutlery, and that's like about as big dick look at my wealth status that you could possibly be trying to do.
Yeah, aluminum cutlery was more valuable than actual silverware.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I was literally making the joke because he was, picking up rust. I'm like, oh, he wants to make thermite. I know this. We have a 10-pound sack of rust.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll see how that goes.
If aluminum is so rare, how do they get it now?
So it's rare in native form. That is like a metallic form of it.
Right. I mean,
It is
what form does it occur in?
bauxite.
Right.
Yep.
But it involves having to use an electrolysis process to extract the alumina from it. So it wasn't really viable until Industrial Revolution, a little bit past it.
Very similar to how we nickel plate steel, but a much more in-depth process goes into it than that actual process.
As for his ability to create thermite, we'll see how well you roll if you try.
But anyway, on back to the crisscross, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And to the right.
Yeah, and so we keep going to the west.
Alrighty. Sorry, had to do a quick read. All right. Yes, so you guys are going down the west corridor.
Yeah, the one opposite the rust room.
Alrighty. Yeah, you head down that way, reaching the T junction. The right corridor curving gently to the right, and the left curving gently forward. I mean, back and forward. Shut up. You know the pattern. You know what I mean. So which way you guys going? The corridor curving right and behind, or left and forward?
Right behind.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You guys proceed around that corridor, reaching a room illuminated by what looks like some kind of magical brazier. Well, magical flame. Same thing that you guys have been seeing.
Okay. Is there anything in this room?
There is. You can see a number of scroll cases, along with what appears to be a stone podium with a bronze, I guess we could say, tome resting on top of
Like a tablet.
it. Sort of. Think of I guess like a bronze book cover that is resting over a book that is like embedded into the podium.
I'm sorry, run that by me again?
Okay, so you have this podium. You have what is stylized like a book cover made of bronze built into the top of this podium.
Okay.
and you can see that there are like grooves along the edges of this, so you can slide this bronze sheet to the side.
Okay. So a bunch of scroll cases, a podium with some weird bronze doohickey on the top.
Oh, like a trap.
Detect magic.
You are detecting magic inside of that podium.
Like underneath
Oh.
that bronze part that slides, or like deeper in?
Underneath it.
Oh, check for traps.
Yeah, I'll investigate it for traps.
I'll help. Rourke bravely holds the magnifying glass.
There are no traps, nor is it locked.
All right, we stand back, and then I use Mage Hand to slide the bronze thing over.
The bronze book cover is too heavy to be moved by Mage Hand.
Is there something? How stylized is it? Could I tie a rope to it?
It's embossed, but it's not like there's not really anything you could tie to that surface.
Is it raised up?
Yes.
You could tie it
looks
around
like
the
it's built
entire
like a
width.
sliding door.
So you could tie like a string around the entire width.
No, you don't have the ability to get underneath it. Like,
No, like think of it like tying it around the flat edge of the book, or not. I'm using a book as an example.
Yeah, no, don't worry about it. Do we have a 10-foot pole?
One of the big guys got one.
Hey Nash, can I see the 10-foot pole? Or Romaine, whoever has it.
I think it's
Oh,
actually.
I don't have a 10-foot pole.
I think it's in Hayes' inventory.
Yeah, I don't have a 10-foot pole.
You guys had to
That's
bring
Hayes.
one thing. No, I'm kidding.
All right, fine. I walk over there and I slide the thing over. Fuck it.
all right. It opens. Inside of which is a clay tablet. Covered with a like semi-transparent shroud.
Okay. Detect Magic's still running. Is the shroud magical?
The shroud is not magical. You do see, though, that the shroud has script on it.
Oh, what's it say?
It is... do you read Celestial?
No.
It says some stuff that you don't understand.
Comprehend languages ritual. I now understand it.
All right. It reads... Forbidden material. Lesser acolytes. Avoid.
Okay. That's very nice of them. I set the shroud aside. What's on the clay tablet? I assume the clay tablet's what was magical. Before doing that. Like, that's what's magical?
Yes, the clay
Okay.
tablet is what's magical.
All right. I still have comprehend languages and detect magic run.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty. So, you pull that aside.
Mhm.
And as you do so, the words on this tablet begin to emanate a black smoke, which forms into a rather ghostly-looking apparition.
Greetings.
Looking like this. You should roll initiative.
Why is everything we find here hostile? Except for red and blue.
Which they would have been if they weren't locked in a box. Maybe.
This guy was locked in a box. He's hostile.
Yeah, but we opened the box. We couldn't open their boxes.
Who would be upset about us opening a box they've been trapped in?
Good point.
Harry Houdini.
If he was trapped in a box for this long, he'd probably be like, "Yeah, thanks for getting me out of that." You know, some asshole put like a real lock on the thing.
Alrighty, Rourke.
Well, I would like to not be right next to this thing.
Okay.
How far away can I get? While still being able to maintain line of sight
I mean,
with
here's
cover,
my
possibly.
question: how close did you get?
I probably would have been 5 feet behind Intervin.
Okay.
Like, we exhausted all of our resources to open the box, and then he stepped up and did all of that. And I was just
Okay.
behind him, so.
Let's see. So you want to go as far back as possible without losing line of sight?
Mm-hmm. I got my short legs on.
That's probably about like 25 feet. They'll take you kind of back into the hallway and you're part of the curve.
Works for me. Then I'd like to aim at this thing and shoot it.
Hmm. A bold strategy. Hit.
Oh,
Hey, he's just in time. Put your armor on.
what?
Haze,
We're fighting
don
something.
your robe and wizard hat.
I would like to re-roll that 8.
Okay.
That sucks.
Yeah. Your attack does not appear very effective.
What's happened?
They're being attacked by this specter composed of like black smoke and
Vector's
like,
attacking
paper.
us.
Where are we?
In a dungeon.
Inside
dungeon.
the dungeon.
What dungeon?
Do you remember nothing of last week?
Was I here?
Yes.
Remember the puzzles and...
Guys, it's not Haze's fault. I cast Feeble Mind on him after the session.
What's our experience?
Not important.
2985. We are level 4.
That is important.
That is actually important, Gilbert. We were level 3 last, he remembered.
Uh-huh. Not important to me.
But anyway,
Alright.
we are currently in initiative, so if you want to roll and get into combat, that would be great.
Indeed. Yeah. Your shot doesn't appear to be very effective. Anything
But it
else?
does something.
Yes. It did
Okay.
do stuff. There was resistance, just not much.
Works for me.
Romaine?
No, that's it.
Is anybody in melee with it yet?
Yes, Intervin is.
It came out of the book I was reading. Oh, the
yeah,
tablet.
right. It's taller than him, right?
I mean, it's kind of floating up above in front of him,
Okay.
but no, it's medium sized.
Yeah, but it's above him. That's all that matters. Let's see here. The hell? Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah, Fairy Fire. That is a dex save. Gilbert?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm casting Fairy Fire on it.
Yep.
Yeah, that doesn't pass. And then, as a bonus action, I will turn into a bear. And that'll be it for my turn.
Underdark. I didn't realize that Katsumoto sounded vaguely Latin.
Oh, that's right. He's Katsumoto. I thought he was still the Centurion.
Vaguely Japanese sounding name. Alrighty. He's glowing. Nash. Mr. Nash. Pluto Nash. Colonel Nash. Mr.
Yes. Is it my turn?
No, I was just repeating your name in the middle of combat for no reason.
Oh, okay.
He just wanted to say
then
hi.
I'm gonna attack the shadow. I can do that, right?
I'm attacking the darkness.
Huh?
Alright, so you try to attack the shadow.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and attack the shadow. You
That
gotta attack
hits.
the shadow. Well, I'll be damned.
Your attack is not very effective.
Obviously not.
Anything else?
Uh, um, mm, rage?
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna rage. Yeah.
Alrighty. This thing's turn. I need a wisdom saving throw from everybody.
Oh, I'm not in. Sorry.
Your initiative has been rolled red. As it begins this howling babbling.
Is this a charm effect? I have advantage if it is.
It is not.
Is it a poison effect?
No.
I figured I'd ask.
I mean, fair enough. You never know when, the ink cloud is going to be an int save.
Why is it that whenever I make a character with really high wisdom, they always
I
fail
mean,
all of their wisdom
Yeah,
saves?
that int say bullshit was kind of messed up.
Oh, that was fantastic. That's what that was, mister. It was just
Yeah.
unexpected.
That was so fucked up. I jumped in the water.
All right. So, okay, Intervin, yeah, you pass. And Romaine, you also passed.
Oh, okay.
Everybody else, actually, let me rephrase that. You guys will take the following damage. If you saved, you save for half. $13 points of psychic to everybody who failed. So Nash, Katsumoto, and Rourke each take 13 psychic. Romaine and Intervin, you guys take half. Additionally, Nash, Katsumoto, and Rurik are all stunned until the end of their next turn.
Who?
Oh God.
Hayes, I said you're stunned.
No, you.
Well, I'm bloodied.
And I came into the fight bloodied. I'm not doing very well
Alrighty.
now.
Intervin?
You're fine.
Yeah, this is bad. I'm going to cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter on it. It needs to make an int save.
Int save. Is this a charm effect?
No.
Okay. Int save.
Int save or become
here it is.
incapacitated. Yeah, the status it inflicts is incapacitated. And prone. But, I'm more interested in incapacitating it. Oh shit, it's a +6 to its int saves? God damn. It still failed, but god damn. Okay. So while it's howling with laughter, I'm gonna run the fuck away. So I get 30 feet away from this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Before it kills me.
Anything else?
Nah, I'm good.
Oh, and when does that effect end?
It is a concentration 1-minute spell. It gets a save at the end of every turn, and every time it takes damage.
Okay.
If it has advantage on saves triggered by damage.
All right. Katsumoto?
If physical attacking seemed very effective.
No. Physical attacks don't seem to be doing as much damage as one would hope. It's affecting it, just not very well.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is there area within 5 feet of me.
Is there what within 5 feet of you?
An area.
What?
An area.
An arrow?
No. An area. Do you understand the words that come out of my mouth?
All right, so it
Ben,
sounds
can
like
we take him?
Katsumoto's dodging.
Area.
No one understand the words that are coming out of your mouth. He's asking if there's an ally within 5 feet of him.
Area.
Christ.
I heard ally. I just figured that Gilbert did too and was just fucking with him.
No, I genuinely did not understand him.
Where is there? It is not there.
Also, wouldn't it be ARRY?
God damn it, is there or is there not there?
Yes.
Okay, so I swap places with my area and then
Hayes,
what?
aren't you stunned?
What does that mean, Gilbert?
It means yes.
Well, Hayes, let's go over to the conditions section. Since apparently I have to keep track of your shit for you. Stunned means that you're incapacitated, cannot move, and can only speak falteringly. You automatically
That part's
fail
down.
strength and dexterity saving throws. And attack rolls against the creature have disadvantage. Incapacitated means that you cannot take actions or reactions.
So why you ask me, Dan, if I do anything, if I can't do anything?
Entirely to
can.
see if you were paying attention to the fact that you were stunned.
I flip off DM.
Rurik. Yeah, at the end of your turn, Katsumoto, you're no longer stunned. Rurik.
Stunned.
You're also stunned. Romaine.
I'm not stunned.
That's correct, you're not stunned.
Let's see, physical damage is not as effective against this guy, it would seem. Yeah, well, I already transformed, too late.
Knocking around some goodsies.
Let's see here. I'm gonna swipe and bite at it.
Two hits.
20 non-magical piercing and slashing.
All right.
Does that seem to be less effective or not effective at all?
What do you mean? So you did regular piercing and slashing?
Yep.
Yeah, they both damage types appear to be equally resisted against.
Okay. As long as it's doing something.
Technically, he gets 2 saves at advantage from that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Does that pass?
No. Yeah, fucking passes.
How's that do it for you?
No, that doesn't pass either.
Bullshit.
My DC is 36. I might have accidentally made this a Pathfinder 2e character.
Yeah, that would explain it. Anything else remain?
Let's see, didn't I give myself something else? Let me just check. No.
All right. Nash is stunned and can't do anything. This thing's turn. Okay, well that's not awful. Alrighty. So this creature starts whispering. And I need Katsumoto, Romaine, and Nash to make wisdom saving throws. As you hear whispers in your mind telling you to stab your companions.
Oh, well.
Well, I hope you gentlemen are ready, because we just to go war.
It's a wisdom save. No matter what my modifier is, I'm going to fail.
As each one of you must now expend your reactions to stab each other. Katsumoto, make an attack.
Sorry, I used mine to flip you off. I don't have one. Sorry.
No, so your reaction is being used to make an attack roll against Romaine. Romaine, you're making an attack roll against Nash. Nash, you're making an attack roll against Katsumoto.
God damn it. So what you're saying is this guy just started them all circle jerking each other off over there?
Yes. Okay, Romaine, does a 13 hit you?
No.
All right.
So who am I attacking? Hayes?
Yes, you're attacking Hayes. And Romaine is attacking you.
Yep. 1 second.
Would have been funny if I got caught in that, because one, I have a flat roll to hit, and the damage is a D4 minus 2.
There's a
You
16
can
hit you,
actually
Hayes.
heal people.
No.
Okay, then I miss.
All right, and then Romaine, your attack roll against Nash.
Does it specify what kind of attack roll it has to be?
A
This is good
melee attack.
Okay. Guess we're going to unarmed strike as a bear. I'm going to punch him. Unfortunately, I'm actually rather good at this.
That does nowhere near close.
Nope.
Nobody hits anybody of all the melee users.
Turns out, in their attempts to hit the other guy, they all dodged the guy targeting them.
We got Three Stooges scene.
Hey, beat it, shut ahead.
Alrighty. That would now make it Intervin's turn.
Okay. Well, I think. Let's see. It would end up being halved. Fuck it. I'm going to do a second level magic missile into this guy. So 10 points of force damage.
He is bloodied.
Great. How far am I from him?
How far did you back up?
Well, my movement speed's 30, so I assume I'm 30 from him.
Yeah.
But I didn't know if there was some other limiting factor. Okay, yeah, I'd like to get to like 45 feet from him, if I can do that and maintain line of sight.
Probably the best you could do and maintain line of sight is about 35 feet.
Okay, 35 feet then. That's it.
Alrighty. Katsumoto.
This is Katsumoto.
Yes, you are Katsumoto.
Am I able to do something now?
I don't believe you're stunned.
Okay, so is someone within 5 feet of me that's an area?
Yes. Romaine and Nash.
Okay, I swap places with one of the most willing.
Probably easier with Nash, considering Romaine is a bear.
Ash is not remaining there.
How are you swapping movement or places?
I'm a bear master.
He's using bait and switch, a battle master maneuver.
Oh well, if he's a bear master.
And so, now I add the thing to the thing.
I believe that's a D8 you have to roll.
Okay, now that I've done that, I'm gonna go and attack this thing.
Uh-huh. Let's see how well you do, Katsumoto.
I hit this thing.
Indeed, you strike this thing with your weapon.
Nice hit.
Okay, but this is a special attack, you see. This is a menacing attack. And so I add another superior die to my attack damage, and he must make a wisdom save or is frightened of me. I'm very frightening.
He appears completely unfazed by you.
You can fuck yourself.
He is immune to the frightened condition.
You can fuck yourself.
What can I say, Hayes? I've gotten very good at DMing one-handed.
Wait, I add the superior, so another die. Okay. He takes that.
Alrighty. It does not appear particularly effective, but it does take damage.
Well, I
So
attack him. I attack him
Is your
again.
superior die a D8?
Yes.
You double the dice. All the dice.
So roll another d8.
Double the superiority die?
Yeah.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Dude, just one reason Battle Master's so cool.
He take 25 damage.
Okay, he still only take half that, but that's still better.
Okay, well, I hit him again. I don't like him.
He don't like you very much either. That also hits.
Oh, you should be attacking with advantage. He's fairy fired.
Oh, that's true. Doesn't matter for the crit, but yeah, you should definitely re-roll that D20.
See if you can get another crit. Nah.
Okay, that's all.
Alrighty. I believe that makes it Rourke's turn.
I would like to shoot it.
Don't fuck up. Hit.
I'll keep it. I'm not gonna try rerolling a 4.
All right, it continues to resist that damage. It is looking fairly injured, though, at this point.
That'll be it.
Romaine,
More bear attacks.
two hits.
Non-magical piercing and slashing.
Alrighty.
And oh, well, I would have had to have moved back into melee with it, so I would have done that.
Okay.
And that's it.
Nash. Mister.
Yeah, I'm here. Is it my turn now? Finally? After all my stuns and hitting other people, can I hit the monster now?
That would be why it's your turn. That hits.
One, 3 points of piercing damage.
No.
It's not too effective. Okay.
No. Look
Oh,
what you
wait,
rolled.
no, yeah, I see what I did wrong. You're right. I see. Nine points of piercing damage.
Alrighty. Yeah, it is beginning to dissipate, but is still corporeal. This thing's turn. Alrighty. Well, it doesn't get the neat thing back. You know what? It's going to try to touch. Yeah, we'll go with Nash. It's going to try to touch you with its weird, menacing, ghostly hand. Were you recklessly attacking?
Me?
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
I ain't got that. I ain't got that yet.
15. I believe that misses.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, it fails to hit you.
No, that misses me.
And I believe that makes it Intervin's turn.
It's looking to be near death.
Yep.
Magic missile, first level. 10 points of force damage.
Indeed. The magic missiles strike this thing, and it dissipates. The smoke flowing back into the script on the tablet.
Oh, good. Everyone good?
I've been better, but I'm alive.
Alrighty.
So did touching the tablet make that thing pop out?
I'm not sure. I walk over to the tablet. Is it, what's it say? Like just looking at it.
It appears to be, well, arcane text.
I understand all written language.
Right. It doesn't actually say anything. It's
It's a spell
it's
scroll.
more like what you see with like a spell scroll. Yeah.
Okay.
When you said arcane text, I thought it was just like the Rockwell retro encabulator.
I mean, I'll do a detect magic ritual because I lost concentration on it. Is it still magical?
It is.
Okay, but it's. Can I tell like what the spell does? Given that comprehend languages lets me understand all language.
Yeah. One moment. Yeah. So this is effectively a spell scroll of gate.
Neat. That's going in the bag. It is removable, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I put it in my bag.
Also, just a heads up, magic of this kind of potency is not really sellable.
I'm not going to sell a scroll of gate. Are you kidding me?
I figured I'd mention that now.
Anyway, with detect magic rating, is there any other magic in this room?
There is not.
I start like going through some of the scrolls on the scriptorum over there. Is there anything of interest?
There is nothing in good condition. Most of these scrolls have deteriorated pretty badly.
Can I search for
scroll
hidden
tubes?
compartments?
By all means.
I'll give you a hand with that. Are the scroll tubes themselves in good condition?
These ones are not in tubes.
Oh,
They're,
you would.
they're like left out on
scroll-
shelves.
Yeah,
Cases.
you said
cases.
scroll tubes when. Scroll cases.
Yeah, think like wine rack type shelving.
Ah, gotcha. Okay. Bookcase full of scrolls. Gotcha. Well,
Probably didn't find anything.
You find 3 dust bunnies, 4 copper pieces,
Taking those.
and 1 electrum piece, which has a lot of like gunk built up on it.
Oh, I'm definitely taking that.
It's got that calcium deposit.
Are the dust bunnies tameable?
No, these appear to be feral, rabid dire dust bunnies.
We should put them in a sack and like let them loose at our enemies.
I got an extra sack.
Well, there you go.
Pocket
catching them.
dire dust bunnies.
All right. What do you want me to roll for that? I'll try catching
Okay, you pick up the dust bunny.
them.
It's a dust bunny. It has no stats.
Anyway, on to the next room.
So we go over to the T and across.
I could take a breather. Actually, no, I don't have any hit dice left. Never mind.
Alrighty. You head over to the next section.
Wait, hold on. Before we leave, how do you not have any hit dice left? We literally just leveled up.
Oh, we did.
Did those
What level are
reset
we?
on?
They don't
for
reset, but you would have gained one.
Oh, okay then. Oh yeah. I do have 1.
What level are we now?
4.
4.
Ooh.
2985.
Yeah, so why don't we take a rest in the scriptorum for an
Oh,
hour?
God damn it! That means I could have had Moonbeam during that fight. Like, I don't know what type of creature that was, but I bet it would have wrecked his ass.
Probably. It didn't
Yeah.
have much HP.
No, but I bet he would have been weak to it.
To Radiant? Yeah, probably.
All right. Yeah, we'll hang out in the scriptorium for an hour. Is the brass pedestal like mounted to anything? Or
There
we
is
found
no
that clay
brass
cabinet?
pedestal.
Well,
Bronze.
the
There is
lectern.
there is a stone lectern with a bronze lid.
Ah, the
Ooh.
bronze lid. Is that attached?
Yes.
I'd like to unattach it.
Okay, you'd have to break the lectern.
Shrug.
Okay.
I'd like to take the lid with me.
Okay, you're going to break the lectern?
I mean, it's not pinging magical, right?
Correct.
Just knock it over. The fall will probably shatter it.
Yeah, I was gonna say have one of the big guys just knock it over. Any of the big guys want to knock it over? Bueller? Well, Romaine, are you still a bear? I mean, it's like
Not
right at the
anymore.
end of the fight.
Oh, okay, then sure, why?
You want to pick this up and throw it
Where and why?
against any solid surface to break it.
He wants
okay.
to
It's
break
just a
this.
lectern.
It's got like a bronze tablet on the top, like a sliding cover on the top, and he wants to steal the bronze. But it's a stone lectern, so he just wants you to break the lectern so he can get the bronze.
Or, yeah, I knock it over and begin like pawing at it awkwardly, I guess.
Picks it up like baseball bat, swings it into the floor.
All right, you knock it over. It impacts the ground, making stone on stone noises.
Does it break in half?
It does not.
All right, I fling it against the wall with all my might.
There's the sound of stone smashing against stone. The lectern breaks.
Okay, there you go.
Is the blast plate recoverable?
There is no brass plate. It is
Bronze, sorry.
bronze.
The other shiny gold metal that's not gold.
Look, do we really have an assaying kit? Would we really be able to tell the difference between a, brass or a bronze cover?
Wait,
Appearance.
brass would be heavier.
Not by much. I mean, zinc versus tin isn't that much different.
He does raise a good point. A point
Well,
I
I'm
will
taking
keep
it.
in mind.
Yeah, I was gonna say telling the difference between brass and bronze is actually not easy at a glance and quickly. But
Okay,
anyway,
so you have
is
it.
the plate how much does it weigh?
Like 6 pounds.
I have just enough carrying capacity to throw that in my inventory. I am 0.2 pounds away from being encumbered.
So, do we have any problems during our short rest?
Yep, and then we take a short rest.
Let's find out. Who wants to roll the D100?
Ooh, I like rolling D100s.
Ooh.
Nothing happens.
Oh no, stuff happens.
Nothing that you can see.
So, about halfway through your rest, you hear splooshing in the water. Sounds like something's walking through it. And you can see a torch light around the corridor.
Friends.
But it was only like 30 minutes into our rest.
I get to the back of the group. We wait. I don't think anybody's doing
Alright.
anything.
Yep. Sploosh, 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 sploosh.
Is it getting
Somebody
closer?
wants to
It
bump
is.
and stuff.
Sploosh, sploosh, sploosh. And you can see, kind of coming around the corner here, what looks to be a suit of bronze splint mail, kind of like the accompanying like cloth and leather armor, whatnot, walking down the corridor, wielding a pair of burning longswords. You can see no face through the opening of the helm. It appears to be empty.
Hey, what's going on?
And it is time to roll a Nash.
Why is everything fucking hostile? Like, geez, I just said hello.
The entire last part of the dungeon, little hostility.
A little hospitality would be nice.
We should totally have shoved bullied one of those rust monsters into a sack, and we could have thrown it at him.
Oh, that would have been a good idea. Let's keep that in mind for the next time we encounter one.
Several rust monster on a leash.
Well, in a sack, so you could throw it at somebody.
Yeah, or better yet, get like a little doggy crate for it.
Yeah, cry havoc and let slip the cephalopods of war.
Crustaceans. They're more insectoid. They'd be like a crustacean.
Okay, yeah, the arthropods of war, then.
And let slip the bugs of war.
Katsumoto?
Yes, this is Katsumoto.
Yes, you can see a warrior in a fucking bronze splint mail with two burning long swords down the hallway. He's menacing you.
Fuck him, I ran up and hit him. We took a short rest, successful?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
This happened during the short rest.
I'm still in the middle of
Hello?
making you all food.
So what's going on?
We've encountered a rubric marine.
So I smack him.
You know, actually, Romaine, that's not far off.
I mean, it's an empty suit of armor, and its weapons are on fire.
So can I smack him now?
Yeah, you can try to bully this dude.
This sounds like some scenery to me.
Let's see, 14. That just barely gets through this guy's defenses.
Well,
Good
yeah. Okay.
It's just a suit of armor.
And I trip attack him.
All right. Deck save?
No, it's a strength save.
14. Does that equal to or surpass your save DC?
Mine's 15.
All right, so he fails.
He's prone.
Indeed, he splashes into the water.
What water?
You're standing in knee-deep water.
This whole level of the dungeon's partially flooded.
He's a pussy.
Yeah, and you hear the the hollow clang as you hit his armor, damaging him. Anything else?
Oh.
All right, Rurik.
I back up, I take aim, I shoot. That's with aiming.
That hit. Wait, why is it a flat roll?
He's prone. Shooting at him at
Oh,
range.
yeah, yes. Sorry, I'm so used to you having an advantage, it caught me off guard.
Nope, it's all good.
All right, yep, that... Yeah, that hits, and you hear the hollow clang of it hitting the breastplate.
Excellent.
It seems fairly evident from these last 2 hits on the guy that these attacks are not doing damage.
Well, I'm useless. I find somewhere to hide then.
Already?
That's it then.
All right. Romaine.
So we've tried physically attacking it, and it doesn't seem to work.
Correct.
Right.
The blows from Katsumoto and Rurik, both good hits, seem to have done no actual damage to him,
Interesting.
although they have knocked him prone.
Romaine, you should transform. I can do a thing.
Oh, what sort of thing?
I can make weapons magical temporarily.
Okay, assuming that that's the problem.
Assuming that's the problem. Usually that gets through things, though, that are like this.
Yeah. Let's see here. Sure, yeah, fuck it. I turn into a bear. And then I'm gonna rush this thing and...
No, wait, don't.
Oh, don't?
What's I would have said is you're like running off. You probably wouldn't have heard me over the splashing.
Well, it sounds like we're making a plan. Should I wait until it's your turn and then...
You should probably hold your action, because I'm not going to run into melee with a suit of armor dual-wielding flaming swords.
Yeah, alright.
And it's a touch spell.
Okay, wait, let me see. What can I do here in the interim?
Moonbeam?
Yeah, what the hell? Let's moonbeam him.
Ion cannon deployed.
Yep. Alright, I action cast moonbeam on his location. And...
I assume you're backing that beam up slightly so it's not catching Katsumoto.
yeah, we'll do that. Alright, and then I transform. That's it.
All right. Oh, that's right. The save's at the start of this dude's turn.
Yeah, unless we're going by the interpretation that having it cast on you counts as entering the spell's area.
Under Dark, how have we traditionally done that?
So, in the old days, we treated it that way, but that's technically a wrong interpretation of that. It's meant to be if you move into it after it's been cast, not that you were pre-existing. Pre-existing is supposed to be at the start of their turn.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not meant to be a blast spell. Anyway.
Who the fuck is T-Sons?
The Thousand Suns. It's Rubric Marine.
Yep.
Oh, okay. This guy. Well, started his turn. Some kind of save? Wisdom, I think?
Yeah, it's con, actually.
Oh, con, okay.
If he's any kind of shape changer, he has disadvantage, and it turns back into whatever it actually is.
All right, yeah, the moonbeam's beaming on him. But nah, he just seems to be an empty suit of bronze armor with 2 flaming swords.
Okay. Oh, is that 21 his save?
Yep.
All right, he passes for half.
Alrighty.
Damage is 15 radiant, so 7. Does that appear to be doing it?
It appears to be doing damage.
Nice.
Alrighty. And Katsumoto's in melee range with this dude, so he is going to make some attacks.
Isn't he still prone?
Yeah, he got up. He stands up and he's going to hit you with his swords.
He's a pussy.
Uh, 14,
No.
16. Alrighty. And then, let's see, so it's half his move to get up. He'll also spend a little bit of movement to pivot around Katsumoto, putting Katsumoto between him and the beam. Kitten.
I don't suppose I can like attempt to disarm him. Like I try and just pry the handle of one of the swords out of his grip.
I mean, you can try.
What check would that be?
Let's see, that's a disarm. 1 second. Let's see. Action disarm. A creature can use a weapon to knock a weapon from another creature's grasp. The attacker makes an attack roll contested by the target's strength athletics check or dexterity acrobatics check. If the attacker wins the contest, the attack causes no damage or other ill effects, but the defender drops the item.
So it's an attack roll, and it's a melee attack. So that means I can use reckless attack?
I don't see why not.
Alright, can someone roll 2d20 plus 6?
18. Alrighty. This thing will contest. Uh, 21. He maintains grip of his weapon.
Oh well. It was a good shot.
Anything else?
No.
Intervene.
All right. So I got this bear next to me, right?
You do.
Yes.
Bonus action to cast a magic weapon, making his claws +1 magical weapons. So you're +1 to attack and damage with them. And they count as
Nice.
magical. And then it stood up, so I'm going to shoot as an action a ray of frost at it. Does a 19 hit it?
A 19 hits.
Sorry. So that is 8 cold damage and -10 feet to its movement speed. Did that look like it damaged it?
It does look like it damaged it.
Okay. How far am I to it?
30.
Can I back up while maintaining line of sight?
Yeah, there's only 15 to back up in this room now.
So 45, that works.
Mm-hmm.
I do so. End of turn.
Alrighty. Katsumoto.
Yes.
Throw it back into the moonbeam!
You really should do that, actually.
Do what?
Throw it back in the moonbeam.
There's a moonbeam?
There's a... Oh my fucking god, Hayes. There's a moonbeam.
How do I throw him? I push him?
Yes, typically you would use the push action.
The shove action, yeah.
Is he not taking damage?
It's
Correct.
instead of an
Just push
attack.
him in there.
You don't have magical weapons to hurt it.
I make.
You probably have a battle master maneuver that pushes people.
I mean, did he take pushing attack?
I push him.
Okay, I believe that's contested athletics checks. So, what's your roll? He cannot pass.
Does he go into the hole?
Yes, you shove him into the moonbeam.
Nice.
I do believe he's then entered the moonbeam on a turn.
Yep. So that's a con save.
Isn't that usually on its turn?
Nope.
It says
first time it
the
enters
text of
on a
moonbeam
turn.
says on a turn. If you enter it on a turn.
That means you can just, like, pull him in and push him out and do the hokey pokey all day long.
Uh-huh.
And he
Everybody
damage
takes a
every
turn pulling him in and pushing him out. Thus stacking the moonbeam damage per round.
Interesting. I'll have to keep that in mind. Alrighty, so what was that? Con save?
But it's only once per turn, just so you know.
It's only once per turn. There's no
On the
limit per
first time,
round.
enters the spell area for the first time on a turn. So you can't, like as a bear, push him in and out multiple times on your turn and get multiple hits. It only would hit him once.
No, but if you could reliably pull him out and push him in on the same turn, you could make it proc every turn.
Yes, as long as you have different people doing it, like on different turns.
No, I mean, like, if you could do it every turn. Like, if you could
Yeah.
pull him out and push him in.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with
Every
you.
player, yep.
Yeah.
Yep, we're all in the same boat on that.
Well, con save. Yeah, that doesn't pass. $19 radiant damage.
Successfully bullied.
Moonbeam is actually a really good spell, which is why it's restricted so only druids can get it, because it's one of the few blasting spells they get.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple other things that can get it. I think there's a...
Okay, yeah,
Ancient
some
Paladin
specific
gets it.
ones. Yeah, Ancient's Watcher Paladin, Twilight Cleric, Lunar Sorcerer.
Alright, this thing appears to be pretty badly damaged.
Hey, we're beating the the Rubric Marine in the Psychic phase. Enjoy your mortal wounds, bitch.
He'll just go off and tell, Papa Magnus that you've been bullying him.
Oh, and what's he gonna do? He's shattered into 1,000 pieces.
Yeah, are you familiar with what happened to what was the name of the Space Wolves planet? They kind of sacked it.
They did that a couple times.
Yeah, they like to burn his shit down because he burned Prospero.
Mm.
All right. Anything else, Hayes?
No.
All right, Rourke.
Dodge.
Romaine.
All right. Let's see here.
I'm just amused that Nash hasn't realized he's not in initiative.
Where is it?
Yeah, at this point, if you're not paying attention, your character will be dodging, and I will not bother to inform you that combat has started.
Oh, that's an action. All right, then. In that case, I'm just going to run up to it and attack it with my my bear claws. My magical bear claws.
Okay.
So I don't get advantage unless it's... It got up from prone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Ooh.
One hit.
All right, I'll take it. $13 magical slashing damage.
Yeah, your claws rend through a chunk of this the bronze armor.
Mm.
You can see the scraps of it that are torn free, turning to dust in the air.
All this dust. All right, that's it.
This thing.
Starts its turn in the moonbeam.
It does.
Mhm.
Con save. That also does not pass. 3 radiant damage. I mean, that's what I get after all those like really high rolls earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's fair.
man.
You did get a 19 earlier, so.
Well, I got a 19, and before that, I think I got something else that was.
It was
really
like
high.
11.
I got a 15 before that.
Yeah, it was a 10 and a 5. So he had 2 really high rolls, so it's bound to happen eventually.
Yeah, law of averages. Whatever, I'll take it. I got
Only time it
magic,
doesn't happen is when Under's
magic
rolling.
+1 bear claws.
Alrighty. Well, this thing's on its last legs. Yeah, it's going to try to strike you with its burning swords.
Mm.
Did you attack recklessly?
I'm not a barbarian.
Honestly, I can't tell the difference.
He's just a
between couple of
barbarian.
you at this point.
Yeah, I'm a barbarian.
I'm guessing one hit.
Yeah, 1 hit.
God damn. 31 points of piercing and fire damage.
Okay then.
Just fucking stabs you in the chest, I guess.
Yeah, I'm still a bear though.
That is more than my maximum.
More importantly, it's more than 20.
Roll that concentration save.
Yep. Fortunately, my con save as a bear is exactly the same as my con save as a human.
Well, that's easy math.
It's
But
very
do
easy,
you
man.
pass, what was it, 10
Yeah.
or half the damage?
Yeah, so
I need
15.
a 15. Oh yeah, I'm fine.
Kitten?
I attempt to disarm him again.
Okay.
Recklessly, so 3d20 plus 6.
Someone want to roll that for him?
Oh, sorry. I forgot he couldn't roll.
Yeah, I thought you were, so I wasn't. 20. Good roll. Fuck the dice.
There's a distinct DM bias to the dice.
He maintains his grip on his burning swords.
17 again.
Anything else?
No, he's probably gonna die soon anyway.
Intervene?
It's inside the moonbeam, right?
Yes.
Then I'm gonna cast Ray of Frost at it.
That hits.
8 more cold damage, minus 10 speed.
Alrighty. Yeah. You did 6 more damage than what was necessary. It dies, turning into dust as the moonbeam shines down on it, and it's just completely dissolved,
Including the swords.
including the swords.
Damn it.
Do we all get like the text in like the middle of our field of view that just says enemy felled?
Yes.
So, out of curiosity, if I successfully disarmed him, would the swords have fallen or dissolved, or waited fallen and then dissolved when he died?
Who knows?
True mystery.
I guess you'll have to fight another one and find out.
Mm.
Alright, well, since Ed interrupted our short rest, I guess we gotta sit around for an hour.
Yep. By the way, anybody who is spending hit dice also gets a D8 for free.
Assuming we succeed this time.
Yep.
Yep.
DM?
Uh-huh.
Well, we're taking a short rest, so do we have to make another roll?
Oh. No.
Okay. It just succeeds?
Yeah, that'd be kind of weird if it's like the random encounter table only operates if you attempt to take a rest. Wandering around does nothing.
Plus a D8, you said, Pete?
Yep.
All
You
right.
have to spend at least
rest?
one hit die, but if you do, you get a D8 for free. Of course, I don't need to because I haven't actually taken any damage from any of these combats.
I'll take it.
Was that a challenge?
Well, no, I took
You have
damage
to
last
kill the
session.
bear. Bit of a challenge.
You have to knock me out of the bear form, and all of that comes back on a short rest.
I mean, I was half
get eggs to play
expecting.
with
I
that
was
get
half
back
expecting
with a
that
short rest.
the Rubik Marine to grapple the bear and pull it into the moonbeam, so you would get forced out of bear form.
That depends on whether a wild-shaped druid is considered a shape changer or not.
That's a good point. I don't actually know. I'd have to look
I
it
Yeah,
up.
shape changer is a creature tag, and I'm a player character.
I mean,
That's true.
does it work against a person who's polymorphed?
It just says shape changer.
Yeah, so it would have to have the creature tag. I don't know if
Yeah.
Wild Shape
I mean-
gives you that creature tag.
That's the rules as written interpretation.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it. No, there are things that can give you creature tags, but wild shape is not one of them. The only creature tag it gives you is beast.
Alrighty. Well, you guys managed to complete a short rest.
Yay.
Yay.
Nice.
I'm not as fucked up. I'm still fucked up.
I am no longer bloodied.
I get all of my wild shapes back.
All right.
Then we move on.
Yeah. Then we go on to the next room, the one across the T.
Alrighty. You guys go to the next room. In that room, you can see it's like the same floor plan in every room. In that one, though, you see, instead of a lectern, another one of these bronze, like animated armors, wielding a burning greatsword, kind of, held in both hands, pointed down into the ground. Looks like this one is guarding the room. Behind it, you can see a stone tablet laying against a kind of like inclined table,
Okay.
along with the usual braziers and scroll shelving.
Okay. I call to it. Hey, do you talk, or are you just gonna attack us again?
It does not respond.
Throw ball bearing at it.
I wouldn't do that. That might count as an attack. And if it's just an automatic security thing, you'll attack us. Since it's not active at the moment, we might be able to neutralize it if we're clever.
It's too
Sounds
bad
like
we didn't
fun.
get a good look at the other one.
How much copper do we got, and how long would it take us to powder it?
That would depend on how much copper ingots Hayes carries around with him, being the blacksmith. I have no copper in my inventory. I mean, I have currency. Does that? I guess that counts, doesn't it?
I mean, we could cut up copper coins, yes.
I mean, I've got 150 copper coins on me.
That's 3 pounds. It's not.
Is that enough? And again, it would depend if Hayes carries copper ingots around with him.
I guess it really depends on how excitable iron copper thermite would be.
The better question is, how would you even know what thermite is? This is the Bronze Age.
I don't know. My patron told me.
His patron told him.
You guys are approaching this from the wrong angle. What we need to do is find a large volume of zinc and then immerse them both in a sulfide bath. And then connect them with a long enough conductor so that we can make the thing's copper armor disintegrate.
Well, you see, maybe they're ordinary because their armor's hollow, so we could fill up.
What?
Bronze has copper in it.
It would actually degrade the copper. It's an alloy, not a new compound.
Yeah, it would attack the copper in there.
And what is this that you're prepping? Well, suggesting I'm prepping, Pete?
An
electrolysis bath.
Basically turning him into a battery to make him corrode.
Yeah, essentially an electrolysis bath.
No, but we're just cracking jokes. Let's see. Realistically, to approach this though, thermite jokes and batteries aside.
I know, guys. We'll defeat the Bronze Age problems by using science that won't be developed for thousands of years.
2000. Thermite was developed in like the mid 1800s.
Ancient problems require modern solutions.
Well, the Bronze Age was a pretty expansive period of time, so it is technically thousands.
Okay, fair enough. I'm thinking the end of them, but yeah.
I was going to say, yeah, we're near Iron Age.
I mean, yeah, this region is still firmly in the Bronze Age. The area you guys came from is from the Iron.
Yeah, so we'd be familiar with iron science. However, thermite, not so much. We'd have to accidentally discover it somehow.
Yeah. I'm not opposed to thermite existing, just it doesn't exist yet.
We'll just have to accidental along it at some point. Oh, I left my copper powder with all of this rust, and it got really hot. Weird.
It's not that reactive. It takes a little bit more
Yeah.
than that.
Yeah, I know. You'd have to excite it somehow. Does magnesium exist?
Pure magnesium is kind of hard to come by.
Yeah.
But fortunately, we do have.
accidentally left my rust powder and copper
Well,
with
it's
a
okay.
lit piece of
I
magnesium.
mean, when we come to that experiment time, I do know the spell Dragon's Breath, so we'll have an
Oh,
ignition
that's true.
source.
Well,
I-
I mean,
I
you
s-
know the spell prestidigitation, so it doesn't matter.
I suppose you could always use your tablet of gate to summon a magnesium elemental.
Oh God, we summoned it down here in the water. Oh wait, no, it's just magnesium. We'll be fine.
I was gonna say you do know prestidigitation, so there's that.
Actually, that's a good point. I cast prestidigitation on the suit of armor to make it cleaner.
That's not what I was thinking, but this should be interesting.
Indeed. You cast prestidigitation on it.
Yeah, I make it all like clean and shiny, restoring it to its previous, like its
I was thinking of this.
pristine condition.
Sorry, there's a watermark on it. Can't Twitch fucking changed all this shit.
Alrighty, yeah. You make it look a lot nicer. The bits of oxidization on the armor are stripped away.
Does it have any like runes or readable text on it?
It does.
What do they say?
1 second.
Like I'll do a comprehend languages ritual if I have to. That just lasts an hour, no concentration.
Yeah, that's not needed.
Okay.
Just gotta. What the fuck is it? Here it is. Okay, one moment. All right, yes. So, on the breastplate itself, you see the profile of a head with a halo behind it. This is the symbol associated with Eta, the good goddess of ingenuity, arcane domain.
So they're her guards of some kind.
Probably. Is there any writing on the sword?
There is no actual blade so far as you can see. It's just flame.
Ah. How big is the flame?
Let's see, like taking the shape of a great sword, probably like what is that? 50 something inches? One second.
So
Greatsword
so in terms of like volume, it's about the size of a campfire, you would say.
I guess?
I know what you're doing.
Not really certain what kind of campfire you use, but I suppose it could be interpreted that way.
So there's an
Midwestern
effect of
backwoods.
prestidigitation. You can instantly light or snuff out a candle, torch, or small campfire. There is no proviso in there for the campfire being magical in origin.
True. I have not seen a small campfire, though, that matches the description of this sword.
So you'd say it's more of a torch.
No, I'd say it's bigger than a small campfire.
Well, damn, I had to try.
It's a fair try. It's a fair try.
Does Etta have a known, like a mantra associated with her?
Not one that I have written up.
Okay, well, then it's probably not the password. You know what? Fuck it. I cast Silent Image to give myself a halo like the symbol of Etta. And I just walk past the suit of armor.
All right. So you just walk past it.
With my halo, yes.
Yep. As you walk past it, you see the helmet turn, kind of acknowledging you as you walk past.
Okay. Yeah, I walk up to the tablet.
Indeed, there is a tablet.
What's it say?
Arcane script and diagrams.
How big is this thing?
Let's see. Given that to be about the size of my desk here, that's bust out my ruler. That's about about 1.5 feet by 2 feet.
Oh, okay, that's not that bad. Given my arcane knowledge and comprehend languages if necessary, what does this tablet say? Or what does it do?
Indeed, one moment. Yeah, where the fuck do I have this squirreled away? I apparently did not add this one to Realmworks. 1 second while I find where my where it is in my little note booklet. Here we are, yes. The clay tablet contains the spell Pass Wall.
Gate, pass wall. Sounds like we're going through some stuff.
Okay. I'd also, because you said it was propped up on like an angled desk. Can I like check this desk for secret compartments and other writings and whatnot?
Are you moving the tablet at all?
If I check the rest of the desk and there's nothing else evident, yes, the last step would be picking up the tablet to put in my bag. And then
All right.
checking the desk under it and such.
Alrighty, give me that check. Alrighty. So, you find nothing of note, and as you pick up and move the tablet, you do find some writing. Celestial.
Okay, well, I put the tablet in my bag first. And then I do a detect magic ritual.
You are detecting no magic outside of what is expected.
Okay.
So the tablet's magical because it's a scroll.
But the writing on the desk is not.
Correct.
Okay. And then comprehend languages.
It reads, "You have done well in claiming your prize. And then beneath that are the numbers 7, 14, and 21.
Okay.
Congratulations, you're this dungeon's 100th visitor. This is not a joke. Click here to claim your prize.
And that's it.
Correct.
Okay. I turn and go back to the party. Does the guarding knight do anything?
It does not.
Cool. Hey guys, we don't actually need to fight this one. We can just go to the next room. So I think we go back to the T, down the corridor, take the next right.
Alrighty. You head down that corridor, and where normally there has been a room, there is a dead end. Merely a smooth masonry wall.
Detect magic.
You detect no magic.
With Rurik's help, I'd like to check the dead end for secret doors and the like.
I can help with that.
All right, yeah. So, you're looking at this, and you notice that a section of this wall appears to be a slightly different material. Where everything else is like this consistent stonework, this appears to be what looks like some kind of cracking plaster.
Okay. I mean, I have like a dagger, so I can just kind of scrape the plaster away. What's underneath the plaster?
Underneath the plaster are the following words: left, up, sorry, 2 words. It's just the 2 words.
Ah. I thought there was a bunch of little dots.
Yeah, no.
Left, up, ellipse.
That was quite literally a thing where I typed up the description, and the first part of my description did not meet the second part of my description because I developed the 2 different parts at different points.
Naturally.
Okay. Well, there's nothing else at this end of the hallway. I guess we go to the next room. Like,
Yep.
yeah, we just go back and we follow the obvious pattern and just go to the next node.
Alrighty.
Turning right as we go.
Yeah, we're basically just right-handing this this particular small dungeon.
See, I normally left.
So you follow this corridor, going all the way to the very end. where you reach a pair of like greenish black metal doors set firmly into the end of this corridor, the surface of which is inlaid with incredibly fine detail, arcane runes and wards of different style and complexities.
Are there guards as well?
There are not,
No.
that you can see.
Detect magic.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Very much yes.
But just the doors?
Well, and the frame, and the stone.
Let me guess, abjuration?
Generic, actually.
Okay, is there actual intelligible writing on the door?
All just arcane script.
Okay. I'd like to check the door for traps.
I can help with that. Aside from the obvious that it's magical.
Well, see, here's the thing. You know, you make some really big, fancy, magical door, and you know what kills the guy? The mechanical poison dart trap no one bothered to check for.
Indeed. 18.
And in fact, yes, you do spot the poison dart trap. I shit you not, there was one. At about a 45-degree angle back from the door, about like 20-ish feet, you can see set at an angle on a seam on the roof of this passageway a series of tubes.
How many?
6.
I'll plug them with wax.
See, I told you.
Well, I don't do the magic bullshit. I always check for traps.
What's your do you have proficiency in Arcana, Intervin?
Yes.
What's your mod?
7.
That's
Reasonable.
I'd say it'd be pretty evident here then. Yeah, this door looks like it is rigged with a like interlocking series of magical traps. I'm basically just taking what you rolled here with the investigation, mixing with your number there from Arcana, just to save time because we'd be fairly evident with that kind of skill.
Okay.
It looks like this door, the magic is set up to trigger mundane and magical traps in response to tampering with the door.
Ha! Do I get a sense of what the range of this magical trap would be?
Unclear, because there are several.
Guessing I don't have much trouble plugging all of the holes of the dart trap.
Yeah, you don't have much trouble.
Well, that's one candle I'll never get back. Also, just so you know, I was melting the wax and pouring that in the holes to bungle up whatever I wasn't just, tapping a cork into it.
All right. How long is the hallway before we lose line of sight of the door?
About 35 feet. And at that point, you begin losing some coverage at the door.
Right. Okay. Well, then at 30 feet, I will manifest a maze. So we will back up to 30 feet away. Mage hand. And I have it. Is it a push or a pull door? The hinge is this side? Or the other side?
It would appear to be a push door.
All right. And I push on the doors with my mage hand.
The doors do not budge.
but also don't trigger.
Correct.
Okay.
You're locked?
Well, it's more opening the doors is likely to cause them to blow up.
Yeah, but you can unlock it without opening it.
Is there even a keyhole?
You see no conventional keyhole.
Does it have like one of those like little blocking plate things for the idle, like the other doors into this place?
It does not.
Is there an unconventional keyhole?
Not that you could see.
Well, there was that one room that had the script bookcasey type things, right? What were the bookcases made out of?
Wood?
How tall were they?
Varying. The two types that were 10 and 15 feet.
So we could reasonably break one apart and get a couple of 15-foot pieces of like strips of wood. We could make a 15 or 20-foot pole.
Carpenter's tools.
Mm-hmm. Seems reasonable.
Okay. Well, if it's all right with you guys, I'd like to go back there and make such a pole.
All right. I lend you my carpenter's tools.
I do a really shitty job of it. I'm not a carpenter.
I take over.
Like it's one of those things where it's like I somehow managed to like make the cut cupped. Like it's not that it's not even square. It's not square either. But it's curved. I curved the surface somehow.
I'm even exhausted. I'd still probably do better.
Well, like all of the cuts I try to make would end up as non-uniform rational body surfaces.
All right. Is it much difficulty for me with my proficiency in carpenter's tools and having a set of carpenter's tools to make whatever Intervin wants made?
There is a difficulty, but that difficulty is so low, there's literally not a point in having you roll.
Yeah, even with disadvantage, like I would still have a high enough score that I would probably beat it.
We're taking bookcases and breaking them apart into 15-foot chunks of wood that we lash together to turn into like a 20-foot pole.
Yeah, it's like a DC 4.
Yeah, my modifier's higher than that.
That being said, before we continue, I gotta hit the restroom. I'll be right back.
Alrighty then. Really tempted to go throw the battery in my truck again and see if I can back it in the garage at least overnight. Although I'm gonna walk out right now and wait on it and see if there's any snow built up on it because it was still kind of blowing around, but it stopped falling. Oh no, she's clean as a whistle. And there's a possum in my yard. What's up, buddy?
Careful, every time I try that, we end up rolling initiative.
Yeah. Well, possums are cool though. They're chill.
Right up until they fall into a garbage can, and then they turn into these swirling masses of spit, hate, and claws.
Probably gonna lose comms because I'm gonna work around my house to watch him. Just curious where he's going. I'll have to look for footprints tomorrow. I can't see him anymore. Looks like he went in my garage, which is fine. My car's locked. I'm not too worried about it.
What kind of gangsta ass possums do you have that you're worried about them taking your car?
Wake up, my car's gone tomorrow. Damn it! I should have fucking checked to see if it was locked still. Actually, no, it's not locked right now. I unlocked it to get tools out of it. Cool. I got a possum in my yard. Better than a fucking woodchuck.
I guess so, but I was just thinking of this when you were like, oh, I'm going to follow the possum.
I'm back.
All right. We have assembled Intervin's poles.
Yes. And then we go back to the door.
Intervening poles. Okay.
Invention.
The intervening apparatus. And considering that I am weak and noodly armed, I hand it to somebody who actually has strength to try to push the door open at range with the pole.
I also hand it to somebody who actually has strength.
So I nominate Colonel Nash.
Nash, you've been given an item. What do you do?
Mr. E here?
Nash
That's
dodges.
what now?
We're giving you a pole to try to push the door open at range, because none of us are strong enough to do so.
Okay.
I back up to like 40 feet around the
move
corner.
the pole and push the door.
The door does not budge.
I push harder.
Okay.
Does it not still not work?
I mean, you rolling a strength athletics check.
I assist him.
Okay. You guys push together. Give me a strength athletics check at advantage. You exert great force upon the door, causing this stick to bow and bend, and the door does not budge.
Is it unlocked? Did y'all unlock it, or?
Well, there's no keyhole or anything, but there's no hinges on this side, so I assumed it was a push door.
Is there a handle on this
What is the
side?
door made of?
A bunch of magical shit. All kinds of magic on it that indicate that
Never
it's
mind.
probably
I was
magically
gonna back up
trapped.
to the other end of the room and take off and just run through it, but since it's magical shit, I'm not gonna do that.
I mean, it's a metal door, kind of a blackish green metal. It just happens to have magic on it.
See, this is where thermite comes in handy.
Alas, the Bronze Age. How to battle a party full of intelligent people? Strip them of their science.
Oh, I'll show you fucking Bronze Age science. We whittle the edge of the pole into a wedge, and we use that to get mechanical leverage to open the doors.
Gasp! Not simple machines! But yeah, no, the door does not budge.
Just
Has
to
anybody
check.
touched it?
No, I don't think any of us have touched it. Like, none of my investigations did I actually touch it.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I
maybe
mean,
somebody's
I
physically touch it.
assumed you didn't because
Yeah.
in general you've shown a great phobia of touching things.
They do have a tendency to explode or attack when I do so.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. Maybe actual physical touch is required to open it.
Yeah, so in that case, I'm going to approach the door.
Tie a rope to you?
It won't help. And I touch the door. Like, I just put my hand on it. Does anything happen?
Your hand feels tingly. You can feel the magic.
Okay, there's magic on it, but otherwise nothing?
Otherwise, nothing.
Okay, ritual cast identify.
The door rings up as door.
It doesn't tell me what spells are affecting it?
Correct.
Okay. I push on the doors.
The doors do not open.
Is there like a handle-like thing, like an in ladder, like a like a ledge or something on the door that I could grab and pull?
Not really.
Okay. I try sliding the doors. Like, do they slide to the sides? Like, Star Trek style?
You try sliding the doors. They do not budge.
Try knocking and asking nicely. Maybe it's magic.
Yeah. All right. I knock on the door and ask to be let in nicely.
You knock on the door and politely ask to enter. All right. You see one section of runes light up and then evaporate off of the door. There are still many other parts of the door.
Given my arcana and what the runes I saw lighting up, what did those runes do?
That I'm going to have to go with unclear on.
Okay, would I be able to get a sense of is that a layer of protection being removed, or is that you have tried, you've expended one of your 3 attempts before the doors kill you?
Give me an Arcana check. Let's see what you can piece together.
Of course, the one time that door killer would have been useful. He's not
Right.
So, based on what you've read and observed, you think it's more likely that what disappeared is a available number of tries.
So it needs some type of password, and that wasn't it. Fuck it. I say Etta at the door.
All right. A set of runes on the opposite side of the door evaporates off the surface.
Same kind of runes?
Yep.
About how many of these do we have left, judging by how many of these runes are evaporating?
There are 3 remaining. 2 more on either side, kind of towards the tops of the door, and then 1 more at the apex.
I have forgotten my password.
I try that. Well,
No.
I assume he suggested it. I'm saying it to the door, since I'm right there.
Okay.
Alrighty.
I have forgotten my password.
The left side upper rune evaporates off the wall.
Okay, we've only got 2
Wait,
left.
what if it's the 7-14-21?
Oh shit.
Or
Yeah,
left
right,
up.
We got a code.
Or
Oh
left
my God,
and
somebody
up.
actually used their head.
Yeah, but there's no keypad or anything to enter numbers.
Well, it's clearly voice activated. Let's just say the code.
Okay, so we have the numbers 7, 14, and 21, and the directions left and up. What order should I tell it?
Were those 2 connected? When we
They were
them?
found in completely different sections of the dungeon.
I think only the code might matter here. Maybe left and up is.
Have we
something
fully
else.
explored the dungeon? Is
Nope.
this the last place?
Is this actually the last place, Gilbert? Or did I mess up my map?
Besides the exit and stuff?
I thought there was one. Is there one more area we haven't explored out of the cross intersection?
Let me double check.
Because I'm pretty sure this is 5 and 6. 5 was the dead end, and this is 6. That means we haven't explored 7 and 8.
Let's see. I don't believe you've done this content yet. So yeah, there should still be another one that you haven't gone to.
Let's
All right,
go
let's,
there.
Yeah, let's go there and see if we can find other clues.
We don't have enough information to open this, so there has to be more information.
No, yeah, I mean the other option is to go Demolition Man on the thing.
We have the capacity.
Well, yeah, I mean you just start swearing at it until you get a bunch of tickets to wipe your ass with, or you run out of tries, and then you see what happens.
But on to area number 7. Continuing with the right-hand approach.
Yep.
All right, you carry on to the next part. Following the corridor. This one ends with a series of iron bars blocking your entrance to the room beyond. This one containing another suit of bronze armored, great flaming sword wielding construct, behind which is a well, based on its shape, what you can assume to be some kind of tablet covered by a cloth.
Okay, is there like a mechanism that looks to be able to open these bars?
You don't see an obvious one.
Can I check the bars to see if they are like fixed bars that are cemented in place, or if they are actually attached to like a portcullis mechanism that can be raised or opened like a gate?
Give me an investigation check.
I'll give him a hand with that.
These appear to be part of a portcullis type mechanism. Although instead of having one big opening for the whole thing to go through, it looks like each individual rod gets drawn down a shaft. Almost like this were like a spear trap, except being used for a gate.
Is there a gap at the top?
There is not. Like, you know how a spear trap would have the hole that the spear comes out of?
Uh huh.
This is looking like that if it were already activated.
Right. I was meaning more like at the top, so the area that it's not coming out of. Is it like just touching the ceiling? Is it going into a receptacle in the ceiling? What?
Oh, yes. It is entering a receptacle.
Okay. Well, I don't know, like Nash or Romaine or somebody, can you like try to like grab one of these poles and just like push it back down? Like just grab it and pull down and see if it retracts?
Or kitten.
Yeah, you don't want me doing that. I'm not very strong.
Okay, yeah, somebody who's actually strong.
Nash or kitten.
I got a +4 in strength.
I'm strong.
Hey, there you go.
Well, be my guest.
I do whatever he said. Very honorably.
I can assist.
What did he say he was doing?
Volunteering for the sacrifice. So, yeah, I pull his liver out. No, he's pulling on, like he's gonna grab the iron bars and like try to push it, pull it down to like forcibly retract the spear trap.
Alrighty. Give me a strength athletics check. Katsumoto.
So I presume that's an athletics check.
Wait, what kind of check?
Strength athletics.
Athletics. Athletics skill check.
Wow.
Nay, you do not open the gate.
Wait, isn't Katsumoto a smith?
Something like that.
Do you have a
Did you hear
hacksaw?
what I said that-
Does it with my carpenter's tools?
You mean smithing
Stone.
tools?
I don't know. One of the tools. I have all the
Smithing.
tools. I have smith's tools, carpenter's tools.
You have carpenter's tools?
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, I mean, probably not actually. Hacksaws weren't really a thing. Not at this time period.
This is true. Additionally, the smith's tools does tell you explicitly what's in it.
Yeah.
Hammers, tongs, charcoal, rags, and a whetstone.
That is true.
Thing needed for shaping metal, not for alleviating it of material.
It doesn't even have a file.
Mm-hmm.
Does
Back in the
it
day.
does it contain the resonance frequency of iron?
Well, I got nothing.
Well, we've got. How much charcoal do we have? And do we have a way to keep it out of the water?
Well,
I
I'm
would
assuming
s-
he would have charcoal extra with him, not just what was in the kit, because he'd make charcoal as he needs it.
So the idea, what I'm thinking is we basically set up his forge, and we get these iron poles, like a section of that we can get the forge next to, red hot, and then we just hack our way through it.
That might be a bit difficult given the knee-deep water.
Hence the need to keep the forge out of the water.
I can build a table.
Out of wood. Yes, that'll be helpful.
Well, you just get the wood wet. It won't catch on fire then.
I'm pretty sure the wood would dry out from being wet by the time you got the flame hot enough to heat the metal.
Not if I built a table the exact height of the water.
God damn it, we really should have just stuffed a rust monster in a sack.
Yeah, that would be really handy right now.
It solves so many problems.
Wait, there's like one other room we haven't explored. Let's go check out that room. Maybe there's a rust monster we can capture.
Or a lever. Like we go into this room, it's just a pedestal with a lever. Nothing else in the room. The obvious, you should have went here first. Turns out we went the wrong direction around the entire dungeon.
You should have bought a squirrel.
So there was no right or left way of doing this, but you know,
We did go the most inconvenient way, it seems.
I mean, for you guys, I'm having a good time.
All right, let's go explore room number 8.
Ah, yes, room number 8.
The Last of Us.
Let's see. Where is this wonderful thing that I need to be able to show you?
It's a map with a full explanation of where we are, and there's a little arrow pointing to one of the rooms that says you are here.
There is a part of me that was considering that, but no. As you
Oh, that's a fun
reach
trick
the-
to play on characters, though. That's a fun puzzle.
As you guys reach the corridor, though, you can see. Looks like, well, same patterned room, although standing up at the far end of the room, you see this. A 10-foot tall monstrosity which looks to be forged of bronze and iron and gold and silver, and its surface inlaid with rubies. But it has that form.
Looks expensive.
You can see that it is what's the best way to describe this? It's holding its hands kind of in front of its chest as if it were clasping something. Like, how should I put it? You know how like you like say hold a mouse in your hand but cover up the mouse completely? Like it's concealing something in its hands.
Ah. Okay. Is that the only thing in this room?
I mean, there's a couple of scroll cases.
Well, I'll check those out.
Yeah, they contain mostly rotted scrolls.
Okay. I check for like secret compartments in this room.
Investigation check. Huh. You do find a secret compartment. Inside of the secret compartment is a 500 gold piece diamond.
Ooh, handy.
Nifty.
And 10 electrum pieces.
Also
Not so
handy. Okay. Can I do a detect magic ritual? Is this golem active?
Detect magic ritual goes off? Yes. Yes, it is.
Okay. Um. Has my comprehend languages still running?
No.
Okay, I'll do comprehend languages ritual. And then I approach the golem and say, "Hey, what's up?"
The golem does not respond.
Okay. I then ask, "What's in your hands?"
It responds with, in a rather mechanical tone, life and death.
Is that it?
That is it.
No, I'm asking the golem.
Oh, the golem does not respond.
Can I see him?
The golem does not respond.
I say life.
Alrighty. You say life. The golem's eyes light up with radiant energy. And opens its hands to you. In one hand, you can see what looks to be another 500 gold piece diamond. And in the other, you see only a square indentation.
Oh, it looks familiar.
I assume this thing's pretty tall, right?
Yes, 10 feet tall.
So the hands are kind of out of my reach.
Mm-hmm.
I use Mage Hand to set the idol into the indentation in his other hand. With its square base and all that.
Alrighty. As you do that, you see the kind of gems embedded across its surface all begin to glow. And the golem dissolves. In its place is a rather humble-looking clay tablet resting on the ground. As it dissolves, the diamond and the idol disappear with it.
Ah, shit.
What's the tablet say?
You should have bought a squirrel.
It doesn't say anything. This appears to be just like a soft clay.
Is it magical?
It is not.
I turn it over and see if there's writing on the other side.
There is not.
I take it with me anyway.
Alrighty.
And you said there was another tablet about the others. So, okay, is that all that there is in this room that we see?
Yes. As you pick up the tablet, yeah, it's kind of heavy. This one weighing a good 15 pounds. It's kind of weirdly heavy for its size.
Like something's encased in it?
That's what I was
He
thinking.
said it was soft clay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I start scraping away the clay.
I'll try bending it first.
Then it might be fragile.
Oh, good point.
I scrape it away carefully with a knife.
Alright, yeah, you start scraping away. Revealing underneath a slab of lead,
Okay.
which is itself indented with script, all in this one actually in a language that is not celestial.
Oh, what language is it?
Do you understand giant?
Nope, but I still have my comprehend languages running.
Ah, yes.
It lasts an
understand
hour.
science. That's one of the languages I speak.
Oh yeah, so he'd also be able to read it. So what's it say?
So, it appears to be utter nonsense.
That's useful. Is it just a bunch of random words, essentially? Like no sentences? Just a bunch of
Correct.
words in giant?
Yep. No
Do
sentences.
they look like a password?
Give me an investigation check.
It might also be
Or
every
an
seventh
insight
word.
check.
I'd suggest the idea to intervene and then help him with the thought process.
Investigation.
Yeah, you mull this over for a little while, and you're not seeing any pattern immediately apparent after looking over this for 10 minutes.
All right, so starting with the leftmost uppermost word and using every seventh word, does that make any intelligible sense?
7-14-21.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
I was thinking math puzzle for that, so I didn't even think of it being a word solving puzzle.
It's a book code.
Fucking
Yep.
ballsy throwing a cipher at a group of D&D players.
Look, if this was a group other than you guys, I wouldn't have done it. But yes, there is a passphrase. Well, a sentence, I should say, that becomes apparent. Along with a, I guess the best way to describe it would be a description. The actual passphrase itself, I have come seeking knowledge, my mind open, and my skills improved. And then as you kind of pick through the rest of it, it would indicate a series of runes that you need to press, well, place like your hand on that door.
Well, hopefully we didn't delete all of them.
Okay. Is there anything else?
Those would be different runes. What under?
I just said, okay, sounds good. Anything else on the tablet?
There is not.
Okay.
Like, by the time you do all that with the cipher, you reach the end.
Is the giant language in your world, the actual writing form, symmetric about a rotational axis?
I'm not entirely clear on what that means.
If you flip the page over,
if I rotate the page, like in front of me, 180 degrees, is the text still readable as giant? And therefore, it would have a different leftmost, uppermost word.
Ah.
It only works if the language is rotationally symmetric like that, though. Otherwise, it'll just look like gibberish. It'll actually just look like it's upside down. I would end up flipping it right side up.
The giant language is, in fact, yes.
It is?
That's probably what the other clue was.
Huh? What other clue?
The stuff behind the plaster?
Left up?
I don't know.
I don't know. This was just a, if I flip the page upside down and start from that leftmost uppermost word and go every seventh word, do I get a different passphrase that also is intelligible?
You look over it. There is not an emergent passphrase as you run through the numbers like that.
Okay. That's good.
But it's intelligible? It forms words when he flips it over?
I mean, yeah. Mostly.
I mean, it might be gibberish.
Number words don't flip. Like the symbol for the numbers don't flip. The words do.
Is there a backside to this tablet with writing?
There is not.
Okay, so it's smooth?
It is.
Can I press on it with my knife to see if there's any indication that this lead box is hollow?
You
Do you think we would think of
gouge.
that?
You gouge the lead.
Yeah, I'm going on the smooth side for this, though, so we don't lose our clues.
Right, right. And you know, it's not quite as thick as you were expecting.
Huh, funny that.
Well, I think it's exactly as thick as he was expecting.
It only weighs 15 pounds. For a solid tablet of lead? So, what's underneath this smooth back panel of lead that I peel off? A thin sheet of lead, if you will.
Where is the
Fucking Matroska tablets.
Alrighty, yeah. So, you kind of open up the back, inside of which is a tome. Rather rustic binding in that it's got like a leather cover and backside. The spine is just exposed paper and it's held together by red string.
Okay, so it's like an unbound manuscript.
Yeah, basically.
Alright, I gently ease it out of there. What's it say?
It says nothing.
It's blank?
Like it has nothing on the cover. Yeah, it's just a blank sheet.
Well, I open it.
The pages are blank.
I do a detect magic ritual.
Illusion.
No shit. If I concentrate with the detect magic to detect like the aura of magic on this stuff, does it form words?
It does. I don't. Would it? Let me double check the effect. 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, okay. So this would not actually reveal the script itself.
Okay. I don't know if this. You might want this to be an Arcana check, but can I tell if is this? It's a physical book with invisible writing, or is it an illusion in the shape of a book?
It's a mimic.
It is a book infused with illusion.
Okay, so more than likely invisible writing rather than an illusion that looks like a book. In that case, I cast See Invisibility, which is one of the second level spells I prepared today. So that spell allows me to see invisible creatures and objects as if they were visible, and also allows me to see into the into the ethereal plane. Ethereal creatures and objects appear ghostly and translucent.
All right. So you do see, looks to be some kind of arcane script, but it is utterly unintelligible,
I have comprehend languages,
even with that.
in the sense that it's not a language, or it just doesn't make any magical sense.
Unclear.
The reason I ask is comprehend languages, the spell is understand all written languages. So if this is a language, I can understand it. Even if I don't understand figurative parts of it, I get the literal meaning.
Like, there is no literal meaning to be had here.
That's what I'm getting at. Okay, so there's no literal meaning. Got it. So these are just symbols with no meaning. Okay. In that case, I try and identify ritual on this thing.
It pings with a variant of illusory script.
I see. Okay. I'm guessing by variant you mean it's not limited to 10 days.
That is one possible alteration.
Well, considering it's stored inside of a lead box that's been inside of a dungeon for who knows how long behind a bronze guardian.
I know, I was just poking fun because the duration is just 10 days. There's no option to make it permanent in the spell, like some of them are, like, you do this for a year.
It turns out there's actually a dude that lives here, and he has to come in here, use Fabricate every 9 days.
All right, so not much coming out of the book. We should probably go back to the door with the password.
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have dispel magic, so I can't dispel the illusory script to see the original.
Yep.
Oh wait, no, shit. I'd have to find a way to get true sight. Oh well, I'll shove it in my bag. This is something that, along with the lead tablet, is that like the entirety of the inside of the lead tablet? There isn't like another like false panel inside of there.
Do you gouge it?
No, I'm just judging, like, based on how thick it is, like the back of this cavity, right? I know relatively thinking,
yeah.
like, are we talking, is this like an inch or, an eighth of an inch?
You don't suspect there's any more hidden compartments in there unless they're like trying to hide a sheet of paper.
Right. Yeah. No. Okay. Yeah. The obvious one we got. That's good. All right. Yeah. I'll just put the book and the lead stuff in my bag. And
Passcode.
So the problem is with the number of spell slots I have, I can get into that room with the bars. Getting out would be the problem.
Yeah, but we have the magic doors passcode.
Yeah, I'm
That
talking about the
may
one with the
hide-
vertical bars, the different room.
But that may hide the reason that those vertical bars are locked.
Maybe.
Well, I'm saying we have access to that area, so we should go into that area instead of trying to go through the bars.
Okay. I agree. We go back to the doors. I give the passcode and touch the runes.
8675309.
Yes, I dial Jenny on the door.
Indeed. You speak the passcode, press the runes and the sequences indicated, and you see the runes glow The ones that disappeared reappear, and the doors fade away.
Revealing a wall.
Not quite. It reveals a 30-foot corridor ending in a damn near blindingly bright room. The walls of which you can see from here look to be lined with some kind of crystal. And in the center is a rough-hewn, like quartz monolith.
Nothing bad ever came from monoliths. Let's go check it out.
Really.
So yeah, we start walking that way.
Alrighty. Yeah, you start heading that way. And you enter the room. It appears as I described. It's hardened quartz making up effectively every facet of the room.
Is there no other way out? Dead end?
There is none that you see.
Okay. Is there any writing on the monolith or on the walls?
There is not.
Detect magic ritual.
You are detecting illusion on the monolith.
Okay. I go up and poke the monolith.
It feels pretty real.
I cast Identify on the monolith.
Mirage Arcana.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Nothing else is pinging magical.
I mean, there's like a magic that kind of infuses everything here since the doors. But yeah, like there's nothing distinct. Just higher than average ambient magic.
Well, the monolith's an illusion. But at the same time, a crappy illusion you can't actually see through.
So we step through, right?
Well, no, physically, like it's illusory, but it's physically real.
Cool.
We would need like dispel magic to remove it, or true sight to see through it.
Hey, this monolith is really cool. We should get a group photo in front of it.
Big is it?
How big is this monolith?
About like 16 feet in height, kind of tapering off toward the end.
Does it appear connected to the floor at all?
It does.
Oh, that rules that idea out. I mean, we got rope and a bunch of strong guys. I was figuring we just topple it. How high is the ceiling in here then? The monolith's 16 foot tall. How high is the ceiling? I don't remember that number.
Oh, yeah, it goes up in a large dome, about 40 feet.
The monolith's in the center of the dome then?
Mm-hmm.
I look around the room for any concealed elements, compartments, areas.
All
I'll
right.
give him a hand with that.
It'll take a while.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Not in a hurry.
Yeah, you spend the better part of an hour skulking about the room, trying to find anything concealed. You do spot something. As you move around, the glaring light, the monolith, and the crystals that make up this room seem to have like this rippling, almost holographic effect.
So if you stood in a certain spot, something more obvious would be there. Like when you're looking in that area, the holographic projection might be, so to speak. Like from a particular perspective, there's something visible.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I determine where that location is? Because it's based on interference patterns, and we'd be able to map out kind of where moving in the room would shift the apparent interference we would be seeing, and from that you could extrapolate a point where those interferences would cancel out.
Alrighty. There you go, skulking about the room.
Turns out it's just a holographic arrow pointing to a button on the monolith.
That would be funny.
Not quite. So, do me a favor. Roll me a D100.
My D100s are hot tonight.
Indeed, yeah. You go poking around, and at this particular angle, when you look towards the monolith, what you spot inside is a man. Kind of in doing the the standard pharaoh mummy kind of pose, where the hands are crossed over the chest.
And here I got excited. It might have been like a flip book moving picture, but never mind.
Okay. Can I mirror the pose?
You can.
Anything happen?
Nothing happens.
Does he appear to be awake?
No. Looks just like he's resting.
So while standing there, and so I can see him, I call and say, "Oh, hey, didn't see you there before."
No response.
So from this position, we can see something inside the monolith being a man posed as a mummy.
From this specific position,
But if
if intervention shifts even slightly, it fades away.
how high up is the man's head on the monolith?
How tall are you, Intervin?
5'11".
About 5'11".
All right. I knock at 5 feet and 11 inches up, while Intervin is watching.
Nothing happens.
Hey, toss me a ball bearing.
I toss Intervin a single ball bearing from across the room.
Okay.
I flick it at the guy.
It hits the monolith, bouncing off.
Okay, so even when projected from here, it still hits the monolith and not him.
No, I see what you're thinking.
Okay, I tried Mage Hand. I cast Mage Hand and try to poke the guy with Mage Hand that I can see.
All right. touches the monolith.
Well, Mage Hand specifies he can cast it where he can see, so he can
Right.
actually cast it inside the monolith.
Right, it touches the monolith.
So it can't actually interact with them, is what you're saying.
That would seem to be the
So
case.
is it solid or it's solid, right? But it's an illusion.
Right. And where I'm standing, I can see a different illusion.
Wait. That lead tablet had a passphrase and a sequence, correct?
Yeah, but
Try
the sequence
passphrase
was...
again.
Sure, I say the passphrase again.
There's no apparent change.
Did you?
I say the passphrase in giant.
There is no apparent change.
So the thing is a large monolith, right? We established
16
this.
feet tall.
How many?
16, 1-6.
16 feet.
The
tall.
ceiling is 40 feet. We are in a large, like, dome-like structure.
So the
If
guy.
Tiffin, myself, and and Hayes, just all three just hit this motherfucker, just run into it. Can we move it, knock it over, something?
I looked at where it meets the floor. It seems to be uniform. There is no
It's built
apparent
into
seam
the
or...
floor, or it's just sitting on the floor.
It's a part of the floor. There is no seam or gap or crack.
Well, fuck.
Yeah, that's the first thing I thought of. Is like, let's just knock it over.
Yeah, let's let the big guys hit it. That's what I was thinking.
I mean, we can still try. It might move. We don't know that.
And we could shatter it if anything.
I was gonna say, yeah, let's all three big guys and some rope and try toppling it over.
Let's rope it and see if we can pull it down. Yeah, can we do that?
Okay.
Or wrap a rope around. Can we wrap a rope around it? Because it's solid, but it's a solid illusion, which I don't
But
understand.
it tapers, so it's like, imagine a stretched out pyramid, but it's probably not pointy at the top. Am I correct, Gilbert?
It's kind of pointy.
Oh, it does kind of tear down to a taper? Okay. Well, then I'll stand on somebody's tall shoulders and tie some rope around the top bit.
Yeah, we'll pull it over if we can. If it's built like a pyramid, we're not going to be able to pull it over.
Yeah, but I'll put 3 separate ropes on it, and one for each of the strong guys.
We could try, but if it's like you say, if it's a fucking we're not.
If it's fixed, yeah. If it's uniform with the floor, so I don't think this is going to do anything, but we can still make the attempt.
Yeah.
And then I'm assuming Interven's probably just going to hang out in that one spot where he can see the dude inside to see if anything happens.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll
We
try.
set out tying ropes and toppling it. So Hayes, Kitten, and Nash, I'm assuming, will be the pullers.
Yeah, we'll need to make a strength save probably.
All right. What's your guys' combined total maximum push drag lift?
Hayes.
Right.
I have 420 pounds is my maximum.
What do we push drag lift?
On your
Says-
inventory, yep.
301 to 600.
600 is
600.
yours, 400 is mine. It's 1,000. And Kitten?
540.
15. Oh, damn. Kitten's a beast. I didn't know he was that strong.
Some shit.
I didn't know Kitten was that
Well,
strong.
keep that
He
in
is a
mind.
fucking beast,
That's
dude.
actually a lot of power potential. 1,500 pounds of pulling force. Actually, just shy of 1,600. Not including all of us, because we still have. I mean, I have 180.
All right, you guys
Man, only
tie.
1,500 pounds? That sounds weak.
What's a bear's push-pull drape?
Oh, I don't know.
All
Can you
right.
shift into a bear and grab onto the end of the rope and pull with us?
No, I'm not wasting it on that.
Okay, then don't. Then why'd you bring it up then? The fuck?
All right.
I brought it
Need
So-
no help. Stop talking.
You guys heaving and hoeing?
Yeah, we even in hoeing.
Alrighty, you heave. You hoe. You heave again. And by God, your muscles are getting sore. It is not budging.
Anything on the Interven front when we're doing all that?
There is no change on the intervent front.
So the guy's head is the same height as Intervin's. What happens if Intervin like lowers his head or like goes down without like shifting on the X or Y axis?
If he changes the elevation of his head.
Okay. Is Intervin doing that?
Sure.
There is no like major change.
So the image doesn't go away.
You can see the image like warp and like colors distort, but it's still the same image.
And if he backs up and moves forward?
That's when he runs into drastic change.
Okay, investigate the ground right where Intervin's standing then. It's his position in the floor that matters.
Yeah. Is there
Hold
anything weird going on off the floor here? Detect magic, anything like that?
Detect magic is detecting nothing outside of the ambient magic of the room.
Is there visibly anything different about this section of the floor?
There is not.
What about the ceiling?
What's the floor made out of? Go with the ceiling first and go
There
floor after.
is a visual distinction on the ceiling.
Ah, okay. Ignore my comment then.
Directly over your head, the quartz formations take a very distinctly spherical shape. There's
How large?
a couple of these. That distance, roughly, maybe about the size of the tip of your finger at that distance. Like if you were to hold it up, overlaying, it's about the size of the tip of your finger. So at 40 feet, that's probably maybe about the size of your palm.
Hey, does anybody know the reduce spell?
How high up is that elevation from the floor? Like how far up do we have to reach?
I mean, at that point with the curvature, we're probably looking at like 37 feet up. Yeah, about 37 feet.
Who's the tallest here?
I'm a dwarf.
I'm a human.
How tall is Kitten then?
Wait, I
Actually,
didn't think,
Romaine's probably. What are you, Romaine?
I thought he combined all the races together. You can't be a dwarf.
You're a dwarf-like
Wrong.
human.
Oh, you didn't do that?
No, you said that I combined them all, so you can't be a dwarf. That is an incorrect statement.
Oh, you can still be a dwarf, but you can.
Yeah.
I said that they all share a feet pool.
Okay, that's what. Okay.
You can be a dwarf with.
Because I was
halfling
wondering
feet.
that because I have a dwarven feet and I'm not a dwarf.
Yeah, you are a human, but you grew up with a dwarven lineage. You have dwarf in your blood.
So the dwarven feet.
Dwarfs and humans and halflings, and there's one other one, right?
Goliath. I
Goliath.
have a
Are all
dwarven feet and a Goliath feet, actually. I'm a big guy though.
well. I was thinking Intervin sits on your shoulders so he can get within 30 feet and mage hand up to that spot because it sounds like it's like a handprint almost.
I mean, I could throw him up there or jump. I can cast jump and jump high enough to throw him up there.
Well,
You said it's 37 feet up, right?
Mm-hmm.
range of mage hand is 30 feet, so you'd only
Yeah.
need to get on somebody's shoulders and you'd be high enough.
Probably.
Okay, you can get on my shoulders. I'm 6'6".
There you go.
Yeah.
That works. I climb
all
on
I was
Nash's
asking for.
shoulders underneath the area, and I poke it with Mage Hand.
Do me a favor, Romy, by that again.
It's 37 feet up.
Okay.
Mage Hand has a 30-foot range. Now, So we need to get my point of casting 7 feet in the air. I'm 5'11". Nash is 6'6". If I climb on his shoulders, I will be within range of that section of the ceiling.
That's what
Okay.
this looks like.
So you climb up on him a little bit, cast it, and touch it.
Yeah, because you said it's just like a circular orb up there.
Mm-hmm. There's
Okay.
several of them up there.
How close together are they?
Let's see. They're equidistant from each other at the same 37-foot point.
How many are there exactly?
5.
How are they arranged?
1, 2, 3, 4. Pentagon.
And then it doesn't matter. If there was a central one, that would matter, but... So yeah, just start fucking with them, see what happens.
Well, yeah, like is it like a button? If I press on the ceiling, does it move or anything like that? Like a button would?
So you're pressing on it with Mage Hand?
Yes.
Alrighty. You apply pressure to it, and it illuminates with a pleasing, like, bluish green light. A very, very, very friendly looking color.
The
Okay.
next one then?
Well, you said it forms a pentagon, so I was pushing in the middle of the pentagon. Like I was treating the pentagon as a shape. Or was it the orb that I touched?
You touch the orb.
Ah, okay.
Which is part of the pentagon.
Okay.
It forms a point.
Now, when you say these are equidistant, how far is that distance between them?
I didn't actually write down that number, but they're 37 feet up. Equidistant around a 40-foot high dome.
Right, and they're surrounding the monolith.
Yes.
Okay, so they're not like it's not a small like symbol drawn out of 5 orbs up there.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay. I point to like if we were going to let's say counterclockwise. I point to that one and say, "Hey, Nash, can you get us under that one?"
Okay. I take you over to that. Move over to that one.
From this position, can we see what's inside the monolith?
From this position, you see something different.
What do I see?
The monolith from your position is now a bright red, kind of darkening towards the center, very scaly, and in the middle, a great orange draconic eye.
Is this like a portal or a
Huh.
trap?
Oh, I guess I should have asked. Did the image of the old sleeping old man change when we touched the orb?
It did not.
Okay, and then when we left that position, it went back to the white monolith.
Yeah, it like hologrammed away.
Yeah, and then here we're seeing a draconic eye. All right, fuck it, I poke this orb with Mage Hand.
Alrighty. You poke this one. The light taking a blood red effect from it. And a bolt of light sparks out of it towards the center of the room, kind of to the front of the monolith by the door. Creating one second. One of these, about the size of a man. Roll an ish.
Only about the size of a man.
Yeah.
Is the
one about
monolith
the size
still
of-
there?
Yes. The monolith remains. Someone could sort those.
Sorry, I was in the bathroom.
Well, good. At least you made it into this Inish.
Nash.
Yes.
This,
I get to go
this
first.
yes.
Sweet. What am I attacking?
Well, there's a red dragon the size of a man standing in front of the obelisk. Or monolith.
Are we fighting? Does he look hostile?
There are flames coming out of his nostrils and he's glaring at you.
Okay, well, that's enough for me. Bonus action, Rage. And then Wifrick's gonna put my sword through his chest.
Ah, fuck. It's almost like saying that you just run towards him with me on your shoulders.
Pretty much, yeah, because I'm a barbarian.
Right, exactly. So you're just carrying it, there's like, ah, shit, fuck.
I just take off running. You're still standing up there.
I was imagining the more the cartoon falling off a cliff for Intervin.
I'm running.
Nash just runs out from underneath him.
Yeah, I take off from him and just standing in the air, like looks down and like, holds up the oops sign. You know, like Coyote used to do. Oh, I suppose it's only y'all don't know that. That's too old.
No, I grew up
All
with
old enough to know
Roadrunner.
I don't know, you know.
That's some of my favorite cartoons. I actually have most of the Looney Tunes.
Saw this chick on.
Of course, that means you did it wrong, because you forgot to go meep.
That's true.
Oh, he did. He raged.
Great.
So instead of meep, it was meep, motherfucker.
Yeah. And 9 points of piercing damage as I stabbed this dragon. You know, I saw this thing on TikTok with this girl. She has to be about 19.
Hold up, mister. Stay focused. We're in the middle of combat.
Oh, okay.
All right,
But this
so
was a
you
good story. Y'all think this was interesting. Y'all would think this is funny.
Mister, hold up. Okay, so what's the +4 and the +6 thing?
The +6 is to hit with the roll 20. The +6 at the bottom is my +4 plus my +2 for my rage.
No, the +4. What's the +4?
What? Oh, that's my initiative.
Nish.
Ah, okay.
That's my initiative roll. Yeah.
Okay.
The +4 is my initiative. The +6 is my attack, and the other +6 is my damage.
Alrighty.
Assuming that a 20 hits it.
And I'm assuming I hit it because it was a 20. That's why I rolled damage. I didn't wait because you wouldn't send anything with a higher than 20 at us at level 4. Unless you're just really. I don't know what.
Oh, that is a
shit from under.
bold assumption.
No. I would
Anything else?
expect that shit from under. No, I'm done.
All right. Kitten?
Remembering that big old dragon that we previously fought like 2 levels ago or something, I am simultaneously terrified and enraged.
Oh no, I am enraged. The last time we met a dragon, it knocked me unconscious, almost killed my buddy, made us look like bitches. This one ain't getting away. I'm gonna die or it's gonna die. It's on. I ain't pulling back. We gone.
It's also a lot smaller, so.
Yeah. So my claws grow out this time, and I double slash it in the face recklessly.
Do it. Strike my dragon down with all of your hatred.
Wow, 4 rolls and 10 is the highest. So it's a 13 hit.
0 hits.
The terror part is winning at the moment. Hopefully he enrages a little bit more next time and rolls higher.
Or perhaps he has too much blind in his blind fury. Sorry, I had to take the shot. Katsumoto. Hayes.
Sorry, my talk key was changed. I do it. I attack it.
Ah, you charge. So you're approaching this red dragon? Instead of running away, you're approaching him?
Yes.
I mean, no change. That's what he did
Of
last
course,
time.
we have to get closer to kick his ass.
Is there someone within an area within 5 feet?
Yes, there is. There are, in fact, like 3 allies.
Oh, we swap
Intervin, Keaton, and
places.
Nash.
We swap places.
Who?
Whoever's willing.
Are any of you willing?
Sure.
Okay, now I whack him. Do I hit him?
That hits.
Okay, now. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Is this target large?
No, it's medium.
Large or smaller? Good. I trip attack him.
Bold. What kind of save?
It's a strength save.
The samurai proceeds to trip the dragon.
Oh, he passes. He doesn't trip.
Still hit him for 16.
And you know what? I don't like his face, so I whack him again.
How do you whack some? Oh, I don't know. Never mind.
Action
Damn, I'm gonna
surge.
whack somebody twice. Fuck.
Not yet.
And
Not
he
yet.
could no, you know that's I'll just do normal. Oh. Okay.
You did 22 damage to him. Like, that's a fair bit of damage, Ace. Even if you didn't get to trip him. That's really good.
But will it be good enough?
Find out next round.
Romaine.
I called his mother a kitten.
Yeah. My turn?
Indeed, Romaine, it is your move.
Okay, how far away is the dragon?
Going to start. Fuck, I didn't actually map these onto the roof when I was doing this. I don't know, estimating like maybe 20 feet away.
Okay. It is just a dragon.
I mean, it would look to be just a red dragon of medium size.
Okay. Let's see. Oh no, that only. What the hell? We'll just use Moonbeam again. I will action cast Moonbeam at its location, and then bonus action turn into a bear. I will not move yet. Wink, wink.
Okay. I had some background noise on my end. Could you run by what you did? You turned into a bear and you used Moonbeam?
Yeah, but reverse order. I action cast Moonbeam, bonus action Wild Shape into a bear. I'm not moving yet.
Okay.
I've got Intervin right next to me, right?
No, Intervin is currently on the back of Nash in melee with the dragon.
Oh, in that case, I run into melee.
Alright.
And that's it.
Rurik.
So I'm gonna fire a crossbow into melee.
Don't fuck up.
I can.
I'd like to aim at
Sorry,
the dragon.
I can put the Moonbeam in a place where it's not going to hit allies, but hit the dragon, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you just envelop part of the monolith.
Hmm.
All right, I aim at the dragon. I hit the dragon. $11 piercing. Fucking, I'm gonna reroll the 8. That'd be 8. Yeah. Aha! Worth it.
Alright, he's bloodied.
I would like to find somewhere not to be here.
No place like that exists. There is no hiding place in this room.
Oh, not cover, just distance.
Oh, okay. I guess you fuck off like 20 feet?
Sure.
Alright.
That's it.
Cool beans. This dude. Well, this is what the kids would call suboptimal. Fire breath. Deck save from the following people: Intervin, Nash, Katsumoto, Kitten.
Sorry, what do you want from me?
Deck save.
Dexter.
As it opens its mouth and from its maw comes spewing gouts of white-hot flame.
I'm standing right in front of his face, too. Because I failed. I'm right there. When he closes his mouth, I'm going to be looking right at him.
Yes, I noticed.
Yeah, your face is right there. Intervin's nuts are right there.
You drove a 6-2 into the down. We both got fried.
His sausage is only slightly less burnt than your face.
I want to know, why haven't you jumped off my back and ran off?
Because it hasn't been my turn yet.
He goes last.
I have -2 to initiative.
All right, so looking at that, literally only Kitten passes for half. Everyone else failed.
Okay.
I'm a dwarf.
29 points of fire damage.
I am unconscious.
How close to dead?
Not at all.
Oh, that's good.
I had 25 hit points.
Oh, that's good. There was a part of me when you guys fucked up was like, oh man, do they have hit points? Am I just going to kill the entire party with this?
You probably are.
I
'cause
don't
I'm
have hit
like,
points.
I'm in single digits.
I'm fine. That's why I ran into melee.
Alrighty, yeah, he's gonna blast y'all motherfuckers. Because he hates your guts.
Okay. And when he closes his mouth, I'm gonna be standing right there and wearing his guts for garters.
Mm-hmm.
No, those are probably mine.
Oh, well, true. Well, you're cooked. I will probably eat you.
And then he's gonna fly up 40 feet.
I get an attack of opportunity, right?
This provokes attacks of opportunity from Nash, Katsumoto, Intervin, Kitten, Romaine.
I mean, I'll take one if you let me, but I'm unconscious right now.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's right. You're dying.
Did Romaine cast Moonbeam?
I did.
He did. One
So,
moment.
con save.
Yeah, I was gonna say he was in the Moonbeam, wasn't he?
Yes, thank you for reminding me. I got a little excited. So 6 fails. If you want to roll your damage, Romaine.
Average. We'll take that.
Exactly.
10 radiant.
Actually, no, below average. 'cause
All
it's an
right.
11 average.
Let's see here.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
So the people taking attacks of opportunity: Katsumoto, hit, roll damage. Kitten, miss. Nash, hit, roll damage.
Can I make a grapple and hold him on the ground?
Hang on, I'm in melee too. Don't I get one?
Yeah. You haven't rolled, though.
Yeah,
I can't tell you if you hit until you roll.
Oh, I just didn't think you said my name. I didn't hear it.
We got distracted with the moonbeam.
That's true.
Hayes did 11 points of damage.
Romaine misses.
Ooh, that's high AC.
All right. Nash, you said you're trying to grapple?
Yeah.
Give me your check. You hold him fast.
I was like, oh my
Girl
God,
Nash says, "Oh no, you don't."
Yeah, this guy flies off, and you just grab his tail and yank him back down.
Does he get pulled back into the moonbeam?
He doesn't get out of the moonbeam.
Oh.
I didn't let him go. Yeah, no, he ain't
The
going.
grapple happened before he moves.
Intervin? I believe you're dying now.
Yes, I am.
Slightly less die, though, right now.
I can feel your blood rolling down my shoulders. Oh.
Probably.
No, all
really,
the wounds got cauterized.
It's really more like the blood plasma, I think, that seeps out with those.
My precious bodily fluids are leaking.
Next.
All of our precious bodily fluids.
Next.
Alrighty. It sounds like it's Nash that's back up for a niche. One hit.
$10 points of piercing.
All right. Anything else?
Let's see what I can do as a bonus action. Oh, you can make a hand with a. No, I can't. I don't have the grapple feet. What can I do? I got a hold of him with one hand and stabbed him with the other one. So what can I do? Somebody give me an idea.
You
Take
can
my shoulders
you
and
can
shake
drag him
around?
out of the moonbeam and then push him back in to force him to take more
Can I
damage.
do that? Can I pull him out of the moonbeam with movement and then push him back into?
He does have him grappled. Isn't he just moving at half speed? Isn't he just moving at half speed?
Yes, he is. Backs up, pushes him back in. He's in it. Con save.
I got a dead worm on my shoulder, and I'm swinging the dragon around. Let's go.
I mean, you're basically just magically waterboarding the dragon.
Basically.
23, half damage. Roll it, Romaine.
Average, we'll take that.
5
Kitten?
more moonbeam damage.
Or no, wait, it's below average again.
Yep, just below.
Oh, wait,
is it a resistance?
what do you mean below average?
Rolling
below
2 dice,
average.
the average
Two-
is above the middle.
2d10. Average would be
The
like
average is
right at
11.
the halfway point.
The average is 11. The average on a D10 is 5.5.
Okay,
Yeah.
moving on.
Haynes is anxious to kill this thing, I think.
No, I gotta go to bed. So
Kitten.
hurry up.
Oh, okay.
Kitten.
Incoherent yowling and scratching.
Get it. Get it. Is it almost dead? Because if it ain't, we're going to die.
I mean, it's not looking fantastic.
Yeah, but neither are the rest of us.
There's a non-zero chance you guys fuck up and land one hit, and then he gets his fire breath back and wastes you all.
Yeah, if he gets his fire breath back, we are done. I am done. I am going to be ash. God, that's a one nickel and dime in this
There's
goddamn-
still 3 more of us that have to go.
Yeah, but you all fuck up. Katsumoto? Or sorry,
Well,
Kit,
nickel and
Kit,
diming.
Kit, do you have anything else you wanted to do?
No.
Katsumoto!
Second wind.
Damn, that's what I should have done.
Wow, he actually got HP with that feature.
Okay, now. Oh shit. Wait a minute. Oh no, that's right. Okay. And then attack him. Well,
That just barely hits.
okay, so now this time I'm going to knock his ass prone.
Let's see how that plays out.
Well, go ahead.
Red Dragon don't give a fuck.
Fuck you.
Indeed, he's getting banged up. He's not doing great.
Well, we've already bloodied him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see it.
Romaine?
My turn?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. He's still in melee with me?
Yes.
Alright. I will bring my claws and teeth to bear against him.
It's a bear.
Is it like prone or restrained or anything?
Nope.
Alright. Wait, he's in the moonbeam, right?
Yep.
Okay, good. Ooh.
One hit.
Man, are we really going to get this dragon kill us? Good God.
10 non-magical slashing damage. How's he looking?
Damn near close to dead.
Nice.
He's got 25 hit points left.
Rorik,
Well, I would like to take aim.
take aim.
Please, Ruff. Please.
Don't fuck up. Hit. Don't fuck up.
It goes next, Brian. If it rolls a 6. Ooh,
I didn't
was
fuck
nice.
up.
That was a nice hit. That was a nice hit.
I like
Yeah,
to re-roll that 7. No,
Okay.
I'm kidding. No, I'm
Just
kidding.
face, man. Face for the 8.
Piercer the 7.
All right, yeah, you see the dragon inhaling, like it's getting its breath weapon ready again,
Oh, fuck.
and your bolt just goes right into the back of its throat, piercing the spinal cord. And it falls to the ground, disintegrating, leaving nothing behind, not even dust.
I use a here's kit on the whatever he is.
I got
Your
this
turn.
bleeding gnome on my shoulder. Can somebody
There's
come
still
get him?
turns.
Guys, you're in
Yes,
an ish.
we're in initiative
Oh
because
my
somebody is
God.
unconscious.
Anything else, Rourke?
No, bonus action. I mean, I can start moving back towards the party, but I only have 25 feet of movement, so I won't get close enough to do anything.
All right, Intervin.
Two passes.
Nash.
I'm gonna hold up the little gnome on my back and say, "Hey, somebody know how to fix this? It's leaking." And that's it.
Take the here's kit out of my hands.
Kitten.
I'm just staring at where the dragon used to be. Puffing and puffing.
Katsumoto.
Okay, I used the here's kit like I said.
All right, you apply band-aids and gauze. Lots and lots of gauze.
I just turned him into a little mummy.
Intervin, I believe that you are now at
Stable.
stabilized.
Yep.
And you will gain 1 level of exhaustion when you wake up.
Are we done with this now?
In 60 minutes.
Yep.
And now that you are out of combat, I believe we shall call things there for the eve.
All right, what's our XP? We got 3,000, right?
No.
Okay, 3,500,
No.
3,600.
Calm your tits or I'm giving you no XP.